at the end of my bag. I would give those to my parents. My parents would not eat it either.
I don't think I'm having one either. I can't do a peppermint patty.
And y'all love Almond Joys, too.
Send them
Almond Joy.
Send them over this way. 1 and 5. The one part, the part that's important is the one. They made shots last night, Al.
Yeah.
Lakers made shots. They made shots from behind the line. Russell Westbrook, okay, that looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Like him coming in with that second unit, him being on the floor at the end of games, this is the idea, right? To give them a little bit of spark when AD and LeBron aren't out there. Russ looks comfortable with that second unit, and it's nice to see them play well for a night. Now, we'll see what happens next. They got a couple of more tough games coming up, but it looks – last night was the first time we've seen them. You're like, you know what? That team right there, that's going to win a handful of games.
So I want to give – it's been such a – listen, it's tough to watch Lakers basketball over the last year or so. And then this year we talked about how it doesn't look that much different from a year ago. It's kind of the same thing. Russ is in the lineup. He's starting. Are there really that many changes? You can't rely on role players. Yeah, they're younger, but can you rely on Lonnie Walker and Troy Brown Jr. and Austin? No, you can't. I mean, they're young players. They're still trying to figure out themselves in the league. Friday night, if you watch a game, Lakers versus Timberwolves, that's the first time Russ came off the bench officially. Okay, first time he's come off the bench officially for the Lakers in a regular season game.
Right.
He wasn't perfect, but he looked like he had a role. He looked like he was part of a team, and then this is his piece of the team.
Is this too much? It looked like he'd been freed up a little bit. It looked like he'd been unharnessed, or however you want to do it, that it didn't look like he was
like liberating for him.
Liberating, that's a better word. It just looked like that was the Russell Westbrook we've seen other places that is, he's not a great player anymore, but he's a useful player at that point. And all of a sudden, if you have that second group that can be okay, it changes quite a bit. I really think it does.
I think I don't want to overreact.
No, of course
not. But
not.
I also want to give him some credit because he came in yesterday in a game that the Lakers are taking on the Denver Nuggets. They had just lost to Denver on Wednesday. Denver's going to be a good team in the Western Conference. Michael Porter Jr. didn't play Wednesday. He played yesterday, so they had their full roster. And his role, just his specific role for the Lakers, I thought it was he looks comfortable. He looks like he has a role. He's able to – he didn't take 18 shots. He took 12. He didn't take 8 threes. He took 3. I think maybe 4 threes. He didn't have.
I did like the heat check after he made the second one. I'm like, yes. Like when he only Russell Westbrook heat checks. He made one in the first half, and then he made one in the third quarter, and they were both good shots. He made them both.
Steve Kerr's out there.
And then
Ray
the
Allen's
next
out
one,
there.
he's like, well, that was a 30-footer. Maybe the heat check after 2 makes is not what we're looking for.
He didn't have 6 turnovers. He had 3. If you look at the plus-minus, and I know this doesn't tell the whole story, he had the highest plus-minus of anybody on the floor. As in, when he was on the floor, Lakers gained most advantage with him on there. I think he was a plus 18. Trav, he looked like he had a role.
He did.
And I'm not telling you that tomorrow, if a deal doesn't come down that makes sense, don't go trade. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, for at least these last 2 games, he looked like he had a role. I know we got to go to break here, but I want you to listen, and for those who didn't get a chance yesterday to listen, Darvin Ham was talking about Russ specifically and talking about his role on the team. He made it very personal, and I'm talking about personal in a good way. And I think I had a lot of people hit me on Twitter yesterday saying, wow, that was really interesting to see your Darvin Ham talk about Russ. Obviously, he's trying to create a relationship with him.
Look, he needs to, right up until he doesn't. So we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see if this is something that we can stack more bricks on top of and feel pretty good about it, or is this a night that they knock down some shots and Russ's impact is, while important, was not nearly as important as other guys actually making shots. That's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
And it is Travis and Sliwa, your Monday Halloween. Happy Halloween. Be sure to be safe tonight. And all day long, the LA Sports Mega Block, 9 hours of it live and loco. Keep it. Don't touch the button, yo. Travis and Sliwa continues right now.
So no Laker game tonight. No Laker game tomorrow night. It's Halloween. Do you and Lady Slee go to a party tonight? Do you go walk around the neighborhood and see what's going on? How do you handle this?
So Monday night, Lakers talk. We'll go 7 to 8.
Put it in the can.
No, can't do it.
Why not?
They take some callers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll call. Let's go do. I'll do a few right now.
This is Ryan from OC.
This is Travis from Laguna Niguel. I got some thoughts on Russ coming off the bench.
Is Mike. I'm
Taylor from Torres.
I
going to
got
school,
some
going to
thoughts
school at
myself.
UCLA.
How many calls are you going to take?
Take probably 5, 6, 7 calls, whatever it
Okay,
takes.
so 6. That's 2 from each of us. We're done. There you go. You do one. I'll fill in for you.
Okay, let me give you a good example. Are you going to a Halloween party tonight?
No.
I'm not either.
No.
Yeah.
Any of you guys going to go to a Halloween party?
Absolutely not.
Already happened over the weekend.
You did one this weekend? Is that where you went to Long Beach?
Yeah, I went to Long Beach, went to party over the weekend. It was really fun. I had a costume that almost half people got, but it's fine.
Almost half. What was that, your Jamie Lee Curtis costume?
Yeah, I was like, if you hadn't seen the movie, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah, it was a far drive, to say the least.
So I walked to Trader Joe's is walking distance.
From your house?
From my girl's condo. So I walk there, and on my way out, there's a Halloween store.
Okay.
What's the one
like one of those pop-up Halloween stores?
Yeah, what's the one that everybody...
Spirit.
Yeah, that one. Okay. So I'm like, let's go in there. I'm like, if I could find a Michael Myers mask, I'm going to buy the mask, and I'm going to wear it today. I don't know why I'm thinking it's a good idea. I'll walk in there. They don't have any. So my girl's like, okay, let me look to see if there's one nearby. There was one, I don't know how far, probably about within a 30-minute drive, and it was $80. I'm like, we are going to go ahead and not buy that mask.
$80?
$80. It was like the classic one, the 70s one, whatever, because they have the new one now for the new movie, The Halloween Ends, which was awful.
I'll take
that
your
I was
word for
telling
it.
everybody that was awful. It's an updated mask. So I made what I think was the right decision by not paying $80 and driving a half hour.
$80?
$80.
A lot.
But think of all the youth you could get out of that, you know?
Right.
Well,
Right.
you could wear it today, and then you could play goalie for the Anaheim Ducks when you're not doing the Lakers Talk Daily. You could go down there and stop a few shots. Or wait, is that Jason wears the hockey mask? I know you don't even have the right mask.
Right.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't
You
even
have
matter.
a mask.
No one's paying $80
Travis,
for that
are you
mask.
just trying to avoid talking about how you're getting dragged in the community about your candy take? Everybody's on my side. You're wrong, Travis
Sure.
Rogers.
Sure.
It's great.
What's
You're
great?
wrong. That you're wrong.
Happens. What are you going to do?
I mean,
also-
you're getting blocked left and right on Twitter.
I haven't seen
You're
any.
getting blocked.
Trev, how do you feel about Werther's Originals?
Those are good, too.
Okay.
Okay, Boomer.
Those are good, too. They're you get a nice, you get a good 10 minutes of enjoying your candy with a Werther's Original because you can't chew it. If you chew, A, it'll get stuck in your teeth, and B, it just goes away
You know what
too
doesn't
quickly.
belong?
Because you have a
Cream
lot of
savers.
practice.
You know what doesn't belong in that bag is like the Jolly Ranchers and this other stuff.
Why not?
Jolly
'Cause
Ranchers are not terrible. You
They're
gotta
not
get the
terrible.
right flavor.
No, they're not terrible. It's just
They're
you got all this
sticky.
chocolate there. Let me just kind of focus on the chocolate. I want a Jolly Rancher on its own. Like I don't want it mixed with that. I'm not going to have a Kit Kat and then pop in a Jolly Rancher and then go to an Almond Joy.
Nobody's stopping you from saving it, for a couple days.
Yeah, it's like Tuesday.
You don't have
can
to eat it all at
the other
once.
ones.
Eating everything at once. I have no control.
2 or 3 are fine. Like, you know me. Sometimes it can get away from me, as evidenced by the Oreo situation from a few weeks ago.
yeah, 12.
It was too many. It was too many by like 9.5. It was way, way, way too many.
By a night and a half. I like that.
But
About half.
the Halloween thing is easy to walk away from because it's all kind of like to your point, it's 80% milk chocolate stuff. There's
Yeah.
a few like candy things in there, like Jolly Ranchers. There's only a handful of the dark chocolate ones, which ones
Is
I
anybody
like.
doing
So you
Baby
can-
Ruths?
Those are rare, not bad. You know what's a
So we'll
good
put in the community too. Yeah.
old school one that you don't see very much at all anymore?
Which one?
Payday. It's basically a Payday. It's basically a Baby Ruth without the chocolate. It's the
Listen,
same thing.
How do you
listen.
guys feel about 100 grand bars?
Peanuts.
Really good.
I'm okay with those too. Peanuts with any type of chocolate. I don't know how you can go
But
wrong.
Payday
there.
has no chocolate. It's just kind of that whatever that
It's like a
center
salt,
thing
like
is.
a salted
Oh,
nut.
yeah,
It's
roll.
salted nut. By the way, the Peterson
Those-
salted nut
yeah,
roll.
those are
Yeah,
classic.
don't sleep on that, Slee.
We used to have. Do you remember a couple years ago? This is pre-COVID. We'd have all the kids walk around in here.
Yeah.
And everybody would give out candy.
Sure.
And we probably had 39 different candies while we're giving them out. I don't see any candy in here. I don't know if there's like a stash going on the other side, but
Susan and I
got
went out to
nothing.
dinner on Friday night, and we're standing there waiting for our table, and the shopping center where we're going has like a trick or treat kind of thing for little kids. So all these little kids in their costumes.
Yep.
These restaurants and stores are handing out fistfuls of, like, the kid would come in. I saw the hostess and just go boom.
Damn.
Had to be 6 or 7 things in there. Boom. Next place. Boom. These kids are dragging around. They needed a wheelbarrow to get out of there.
Clean it up.
It was so much candy.
What happened
Like,
to
where was this in my
inflation?
day? Where was this? Like, you'd go, here's your little box of
Yep.
M&Ms and have like
Yep.
4 M&Ms in it. And
I'd
here-
open the box of M&Ms and just give them single. Here's 3 of them.
You need that little
Yellow
the
and blue.
fun-sized
Keep
bag.
it moving.
Two fun sized bags of peanut M&Ms
Are you
is
guys,
the way to do it.
Were you guys pillowcase guys? Were you
Pillowcase.
like the hard shell ones? I had a hard shell like pumpkin.
Like the pumpkin
Jack-o'-lantern.
one?
Yeah, that's what
I think
had.
everybody had that at one point or another, right? The
Then a tote
pumpkin.
bag.
So
A what?
Tote bag. The guy I decorated
yeah,
the tote
yeah,
bag
yeah.
and I would put it in the tote bag too. At one point.
Pillowcase, I remember when I was a kid, I heard a story that somebody took somebody's pillowcase full of candy, and I was just on a.
Did that never happen to you? Oh,
It never happened to me.
Oh, yeah.
Never happened to me. But
yeah.
I was looking around like this was, it was like a crime scene or something.
I remember 3rd or 4th grade, something like that. When you're old enough to be scared, but you're old enough to know that this isn't right. Like, I remember like some high school age kids taking our stuff in 3rd or 4th grade and be like, I can't do anything to stop this from happening,
Yeah.
but this is BS.
By the way, don't be a freaking sophomore in high school taking it from a 3rd grader. Can you just be middle school? Can you just be can you be a 6th grader?
They might have been a 6th grader. They felt a lot bigger than me at the time. There are bad people in the world, and they want to take your Werther's Originals from you. they want to take it away from you. They want to. Boomer is like 30 years older than me. It's a nice try.
No, it's okay.
I like the
You
concept,
have boomer
but
takes. It's fine.
no. I mean, my parents are boomers. That's
is
you're
just-
off by like 30
Yeah,
years,
who cares?
but that's fine. That's fine.
Love the candy
Shoe fits.
that gets in the middle.
The shoe fits. Okay.
Candy
You
gets
sure
in
you
the
want to
middle.
do this? Are you sure?
Because
Because I'll do it.
Let's talk about
She's
Russ,
all
I
in.
guess.
No, we can do it if you want. I
Let's talk
can
about
do
Russ.
it.
Let's talk about Russ.
It's up to you. By the way, did you hear that? We have new interstitials now. We have that one and see, and then we can just go to Russ. We can just go
That's
to
how we
Miles
transition.
Turner. We can
That's
go
how we
to
get out of awkward
Darvin
That's how we
conversations.
transition.
We can
Anytime
go-
we have an issue,
we could go to Darvin Ham
90210.
being emotional about Russell Westbrook. I was surprised to see that. I was surprised that he was as invested in it as he appears that he be, right? That Darvin Ham said this.
This is post-game, yep.
Post-game last night after they got their first win of the season.
I'm so happy, man. I know what I can't even imagine what that kid is going through, man. One of the biggest things about me getting this job was for him to get that respect that he deserved, because a lot of what went on last year was not his fault. And everything, all the blame was placed on him. And so I told him, man, just listen to me, believe in me, bro. I'm going to put you in a position to succeed with the group, but you have to put the group first.
He goes on, by the way, and it's a perfect example of somebody that has taken a role. He's the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's got to figure out stuff on the fly. He didn't trade for Russell Westbrook. This roster's not perfect by any means. It's got a lot of flaws, and he's got to work with what he's got. And I think, you and I have talked about this, and there's been plenty of conversations of, do you think Russ is going to accept a role off the bench? I mean, he clearly doesn't want to accept a role off the bench. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to continue to emphasize this 80 different times today. It's one game. But Russ taking that role off the bench. You know what happened yesterday at the game?
2 games, right? I mean,
two games. But 2 games. Yes.
2 games where he kind of seemed to be okay with the role he was being asked to play.
And if there was a game,
but 2 games.
If there was a game, Minnesota game, AD didn't play.
Right.
Remember, Woj had put out the tweet, "Hey, if AD doesn't play, then probably expect Russ to be back in the starting lineup."
Yep.
He wasn't. So Russ wasn't in the starting lineup yesterday. It was asked to Darvin Ham pregame about, is this probably where Russ's role is going to be? Absolutely. So Russ is going to be coming off the bench. That's something that's going to be happening. And you said to have somebody as, it kind of almost sounded like emotional talking about Russ in the 5th, 6th game of the season and accepting that role. Obviously,
Somebody
Darvin Ham cares.
I don't want to say doesn't know that well because they've spent some time together, but it's not like they've spent 10 years together. It's not like they've even spent a couple of seasons. His relationship with Russell Westbrook goes back, a few months when he got hired as the head coach. His relationship with him coaching as an active NBA player is exactly 6 games long right now, and you can tell he's got feelings for him. And look, this could be, I want to wait, like you said, it's one game. This could be something that is a blessing in disguise for Russell Westbrook. This could be something that he embraces. This could be something where he
maybe even likes.
That's what I mean. That, hey, you know what? This actually lets me do what I do. He was on the floor at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
played 30-plus minutes.
Michael Cooper was on the floor at the end of the game. Rick Fox was on the floor at the end of the game.
Michael Thompson was drafted number 1 in his class, got traded to the Lakers. There are moments he's coming off the bench.
Have the right guys in the right position, and this feels like the right spot for him. We'll see. I think that Russ is getting credit that he deserves. I also think that the reason that they won last night is they made a bunch of shots.
Sure.
That's why
43% from 3.
Right. And this
9
was a team that was
turnovers.
shooting, 22% going into that game. This is a team that was dead last in the NBA. I'm sure still is, even after tonight. But if they go back to what you would expect, not 20 and not 40,
30,
but somewhere in the middle, then they're going to win some games. And maybe they can win some games with Russell Westbrook leading that second unit. Maybe Russell Westbrook will embrace the opportunity to be phase 2 of his career. I'm still skeptical, but the early returns are pretty good. That he did it. He did it well. It wasn't because you can tell sometimes when somebody gets put into a role and it's like, look, I'm going to do it because you're asking me to do it, but I don't like it. And then there's, look, I'm going to give this a shot. It feels like that's been the second thing for him. He's given it a look.
Is it fair to say, and we've said this a lot, listening and watching Russ for over a year, he gets in his way a lot. Russ is in his own way.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So it almost felt liberating yesterday to watch him because he felt like he was, I'm free to be me. There was a moment, can I tell you this? And this has not happened. I can't remember a moment. Russ is on one side of the court. Maybe the Lakers just got an and one. Something happened. There was a run going on for the Lakers. Russ turns to the crowd and starts doing one of these. And all of a sudden that section got up. And then all of a sudden he looks over at another section, does one of these, and all of a sudden that's listen, that has not happened with the Lakers.
Sure.
It has not. So for a quick moment,
take it when you can get it.
Take it when you can get it.
Whether it lasts, who knows? Mm-hmm. Hopefully it does, but at least for a night.
I stood up. I was like,
by the way, I heard your first quarter hit last night. It was okay.
It was all right?
It wasn't great. It was okay. A little bit team rebounding numbers. Anthony
Where were
Davis leading he had leading all scorers 11 points. Jokic had 10.
They were down 5.
I
They were down
sat
5.
in my drive. I got home right as the first quarter ended. I'm like, I'm going to sit around and wait for Al's first quarter update. Just want to hear it for myself.
I was listening to Postgame Network for the Rams because we were waiting to go in. Kirk's takes, awesome. Your takes, I thought they were all right. I thought they were okay.
Can we find one guy that can run the ball? One? Matthew Stafford had a touchdown run yesterday. Why not bring up Dave Roberts? Why not bring up the fact that we're going to take out our pitcher right here? You're bothering me, Slee. Ask Slee. Coming up next, it's Travis Slee, 710.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking. $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Is presented by Harrah's Resort SoCal, voted best resort in Futter, California. From dining to unwinding, a trip to Futter, California is always a win. Are you game for a getaway? Start planning your trip by visiting harrissocal.com. And it is time for Ask Slee.
All right, 877-710-ESPN. That's the number if you would like to get in and do an Ask Slee on the phone. Can I give you an Ask Slee from Travis in LA Live at the moment? You're going to pay $20 a month to keep your blue check mark on Twitter. Hashtag Ask Slee.
No. Yeah, listen, I
That's
my
the
life,
rumor, right? $20 a month.
My life has not changed since I got the blue check mark. Nobody ever says, hey, this dude has a blue freaking check mark. And $20 a month is a lot.
That's a ton.
You're not talking like, hey, this is $20 a year. I don't even think I'd pay $20 a year. And I'm not kidding around. I just don't care. I don't think it means anything. So I don't think I would do it. No.
It's funny. So when I was working for the Angels a million years ago, they came and said, hey, do you want us to verify your Twitter account? Yeah, sure.
Yep.
And I got the blue check mark. It's like, yeah, all right. Yeah, fine, whatever. $20 for what?
Yep.
I don't understand. Like maybe if you're, I don't know, if you're pick somebody super, George Clooney, and you want your blue check. I don't understand who would do this, why this would become important all of a sudden.
Yeah, if I'm at a restaurant and the customer service is not good, I always pull my phone out and say,
check me out.
Do you really want to mess with me?
Don't let me
blue check
mark.
Do you really want to mess with me?
Let's go to Thomas in LA. Hashtag Ask Slee. What do you got, Thomas? Thomas.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great. What do you got?
All right. So, Slee, you won the contest of a lifetime, right? That allows you to either coach the Lakers in the Game 7 of the Finals.
I'm already nervous.
Or manage the Padres in the Game 7 of the World Series. Which one you doing?
Oh, my God.
That's a great question, by the way. Good job, Thomas.
I'm going to have to do Lakers because I just know NBA better than I do baseball. I'm going to screw it up in baseball.
You just need a sheet of paper for Padres.
Well, maybe not, right?
You need a sheet of paper for the Dodgers. At least Bob Melvin used pitchers in the 6th inning.
I think I would pick basketball, too.
Really?
Yeah, because you can hide. Like, at Game 7, I don't want to be responsible for this, right? I'm going to let the play. Here are my 5 guys.
Yeah.
I got my 1 or 2 subs. You guys raise your hand when you need to come out, and I'll do that. The rest of this, you're on your own. In baseball, in a Game 7, when to take that guy out, when not to take that guy out. Those are some real decisions.
Maybe actually this is easier. Maybe we should do baseball because every decision that's been made in baseball, at least from some of these main managers, it's irrelevant.
This is a 50.3% chance. Yours is a stupid 49.7. We're going to obviously take it the other way.
So I have an athlete.
I'm 100% blaming, by the way, if we lose Game 7 and Braun hits a jumper. You got to hit your shot. I don't know what you guys want to do.
We got you a good look.
I did my job.
Building off that last question, Slee. So if the Lakers offered you a head coaching job tomorrow, would you take it?
Well, of course you take it. And I'd be fired in a week, but yes, of course you take it.
You take it?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Buyout.
I wouldn't know what I'm doing, but yeah. Give me a 4-year deal, and if they pay like some of these other coaches are getting, Trev, I'm good. They could fire me at any time. I'm good for. I got runway forever.
Well, like for instance, Jimbo Fisher, the head coach at Texas A&M, his buyout is something like $80 million. That if they fire him, they have, and it goes down each year, obviously. But right now, it's about as high as it's going to be. Those are good jobs. I still don't think that the game is the tricky part. It would be having to get LeBron and AD and Russell Westbrook's attention during a practice. Hey, Mookie, I need you to listen to me. We're about to tell you what's. Who are you? What? Why am I listening to you?
I was
looking
to
Lakers Talk Daily.
just to play with the numbers. Michael Porter Jr. I think his contract's like, I don't know, it's like $160 million, something like that, and it's a 4-year deal, and he's 24 years old. And Michael and I were just sitting there like, what do you do with all that money?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you freaking want.
The answer is whatever
you want.
Disc writes, on Halloween, do you go full commit or do you act your age and shut off the lights and pretend no one is home?
I wish.
You said you don't get a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I wish I was in a place where, because I could already envision it. Have a home down the road. 100% I'll be the guy with, let's leave the lights on. Let's actually even have some stuff where I might spook them out a little bit. Like, I would play into the whole thing.
You can like hide in the trees and jump out and stare.
All right, when I was
that guy?
Listen,
That's a bad guy.
When I was at Six Flags, a lot of it is haunted theme. So they have their haunted houses and all that stuff, whatever they're doing, right? They're whatever we call them. 6 of them. They had 6 different ones that were out there. I told my girl, I wasn't kidding. I was like, if they told me, hey, can you come in for a weekend and work for us on a Friday and Saturday? I'm like, I'm in. I wanted to scare people so bad. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. I think it's so funny. Like, she's not scared of a roller coaster if her life depended on it. But yet, walking into this room and having somebody pop up out of nowhere, she thought was the scariest thing in her life.
I don't like scaring people for the simple reason I don't like when someone scares me. So when I come home and there's people upstairs or whatever, like I make a ton of noise so you don't startle somebody. I hate that feeling of when somebody jumps out of the shadows at you. I cannot stand it.
I whisper.
As a boomer, we have the inflatables and we have everything else that's going on in our neighborhood. We'll have a bunch of people, and I can guarantee you the highest level of traffic will come at the exact time when the World Series or Monday Night Football game is at its most exciting. That when the pitch will be on the way, ding dong, right? That's when it happens.
You don't just sit out there on the porch?
No.
And pretend like you're not real?
It's not like constant like that. Right. It's one every 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I might be that guy. I might pretend to be like the Scarecrow, and then bam.
Just hit him. This is a new side of you. I didn't think you would like this so much.
I hit him.
Are you handing out candy tonight or dropping some Laker history on every trick-or-treater that knocks on your door?
Well, both.
That's from Rich A.
Yeah, obviously both.
You should be like
the Laker history first.
All right, here, little witch. Who was the MVP on the 2000 Lakers before I give you your Twix?
What do you do if...
Point of entry.
Do you have the Dodger channel on? People are ringing the doorbell. I'm not getting it. Not right now.
Fernando Mania.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many complete games in a row did Fernando Valenzuela throw to open the 1981 season?
We're both idiots, and we're both very happy with it.
The correct answer is 8, by the way. You going to put on a costume to answer your door? Will you get anybody tonight?
No. I don't.
Literally nobody?
No, because it's a condo complex, so you're coming in. There isn't, you need a gate code just to get in.
You want to come hide in my bushes?
Yes.
Gotta get that Michael Myers.
You get your mask, $80. We'll split it, 40 a piece. You hide in the bushes, and when the kids come around, you just come.
I don't want to scare the kids.
Out.
I want to scare the parents.
So here's what it is: the parents got to hang back by the sidewalk.
Yep.
And then you have to walk up to the door, and they, go, hi, trick or treat. And most of the costumes
I'll be in the sewer
cute.
area, and I'll grab their ankle.
We already done that one. Let's see. I already got that one. Now we've already got the parrot. Now that Musk's own Twitter, will you accept Ask Sleaze via Telegram? #AskSleaze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twitter feels different all of a sudden. It feels
$20. That to me is pretty funny.
$20 is think about how many things you signed up for, like gyms. Like a gym isn't $20 a month.
Yeah, 22.
So Planet Fitness might be like the cheapest one out there.
That's like
There's
10, right?
Plenty of gyms that are way north of that.
No, I understand that, but there are also some that are under. Right? Am I crazy? There are some that are
probably
under.
Cheapest, probably at 10.
Yeah.
You could join Planet Fitness twice or get a blue check mark. Can anybody get a blue check mark? Like, I kind of like flexing and holding it over people, even though I don't care at all.
So you don't have a blue check mark?
Yeah.
No.
What? Why don't you have that?
I'm not responding.
I got it. I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is. Cool. Awesome. All right. Rams have all sorts of problems. And Slee, I don't like to say this going into week 9 of the season, but is the game against the Bucks a must-win to keep their season alive? That's next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
CAM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
It is Travis and Sliwa, your Monday. Happy Halloween. And if you want to see the guys, they're not dressed up today, but that's okay. They're having fun doing sports radio. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube live, streaming. Just go to YouTube, search ESPNLA, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment. You can watch the show live, plus you can check out Slee's Lakers Talk Daily coming up later this afternoon. Travis and Sliwa continues your Monday right now.
Have you done Lakers Talk Daily for the day?
Yeah, I already did it.
You did?
Talking to Russ.
Russ off the bench?
Yeah.
Game one.
I was going to go Miles Turner, but
oh yeah,
we'll wait on that.
Yeah, Miles Turner, like campaigning.
This guy,
it's campaign season.
I was just going to say he's trying to be city council member or something.
We got the guy that knocked on the door the other day. Hi, I'm so and so running for city. I'm good. Keep it moving, buddy. keep it moving.
How about the houses with the front yard with 31 different signs?
Have you?
I'm like, wait, are they running for the same thing, or what are you doing here?
So in my neighborhood, there are like lawn signs, right, with supporting this candidate or that candidate, and we have opted to put no lawn signs in our yard. And we get a knock on the door once or twice. Hey, do you mind if we put it? Do you think that I would have said yes by now? Like, there's nothing in my yard other than my inflatable witch. That's all we got going.
Do they give you any details? They say, "Hey, I'm running for this. I'm this. Do you mind if I put this sign in front?"
They do. They're polite about it, but it's like there's all over the street. There's none in my yard. Yeah. Maybe we just kind of keep it moving.
Yeah, if I'm running,
stop knocking on my door.
I'm putting a sign in your front yard, and I'm putting a bumper sticker on your car too.
Bumper stickers, never. You guys need to do better, because we're getting in the point of the season with the picks where it's almost a wrap. Taylor, you had 0 again.
I got a 0.
What did I get?
You came in second this week.
Okay,
sounds like script.
I get 1.
You had 2. Emily got the Niners in the 2 spot. Slee, you had 2. You had Arizona and the Niners in your 3.
I'll have to double
2.
check those.
Can we double or nothing or something at some point?
Did I pick Raiders this time?
You had the Raiders and Stanford are the 2 you missed, but you had 5 points. I had 6. I had the Bruins and the Saints, and missed SC picks. And the Rams. But we've had 8 weeks, guys. I've won 5 of them. You're gonna have to. We need to.
What's the total
reset.
points? What's the total points?
53, 43, 41, 31.
Plenty of time.
I was hoping you might. Yeah,
plenty of time.
There are plenty of time. I was hoping you wouldn't say that, but you're 100% right. Alive in the eliminator pool.
Oh yeah, I was watching.
Took the Cowboys. Here's the good news.
Yeah,
I'm alive. The bad news. So are the other 2 guys.
Oh, they both won.
They both won.
Yeah, you're gonna lose now.
So why we should split it, right? Like
they've already somebody of the 3 or somebody of the other 2. Somebody has set the tone of saying, I'm playing this thing out. Because you guys would have already split it by now.
I know. But can I just take my 3rd and they can play off for the other 2/3 of this? I'd really like out of this.
You still have KC left?
Yeah, but they play Tennessee this upcoming week. There's another. Somebody good plays the Commanders that I haven't picked yet. But can I depress you all? Ready, Rams fans? You ready for me to really deeply bum you out?
Take the Rams this week because they're on a bye.
I've already taken the Rams. The Rams are not on the bye.
Or the Niners are on a bye. That's right.
I haven't taken the Niners yet. I could still do that potentially. The Washington Commanders are ahead of the Rams in the NFC playoff race. Oof. The Washington Commanders are 4-4. The Rams are 3-4. And right now, if the playoffs started today, the Rams are nowhere near it.
You should do the post-game show for the Commanders this upcoming weekend.
The Commanders play the Vikes?
Yeah.
But it's in D.C., yes?
It is, in D.C.
Yeah. See, I don't love that. But, Slee, the Commanders, who have Carson Wentz as their quarterback, when Tyler...
You don't have to say anything else. You just say the Commanders.
The Commanders.
And that's enough.
They bounced the check to their 50-50 winner. They have a better record than the Los Angeles Rams right now. Dan Snyder, the NFL owners are trying to find a way to fire him, and they have
playing 500 ball.
The team has had, I saw the stat yesterday, since 2000 or 2002, they've had 26 different starting quarterbacks. They've had 1 playoff win, and they're ahead of the Rams in the NFC playoff standings. The Commanders, Slee. That's how bad yesterday's result was. And the worst part about it, quite frankly, is there isn't help on the horizon. Van Jefferson came back, 0 targets. The offensive line was better yesterday. Still couldn't run the ball. They played against the team that they can never beat, and they didn't. There's really no silver lining going forward other than you're playing a bunch of other mediocre teams. That's the thing to hang your hat on at this point.
Just that it's the 49ers, though? Like, it's kind of a skewed viewing after the bye week.
You're not wrong, but they look terrible against Buffalo. They look terrible against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's definitely not just the Niners.
I don't think so. The Niners
they barely
are clearly,
beat Atlanta. The Cowboys demolished them.
Yes.
I mean, no, this is more than just the Niners.
I want to say in their 4 losses, they're all by double digits.
Yep.
It's a mess right now.
Take this from yesterday, too. Remember we were talking about, it was on Friday while we were doing our show, we were starting to get some rumors that, hey, Debo might not play on Sunday. Debo didn't play on Sunday. And they still were doing whatever they want. By the way, what happens to that team when Debo comes back? You got that dual threat.
Okay, but you're not wrong. But
not even a
can
dual
I say
threat.
this?
You got more threats than just 2 guys.
They do. They have Kittle, they have Debo, they have McCaffrey, who's like a triple threat in his own right. That team that looks virtually unbeatable when they play the Rams, the team gets beat by everybody else.
They do. They've had some bad losses.
That's what I mean. They lost to the Denver Broncos, who are not a good team. They lost to the Bears. They are not an invincible. This is not
lost to Atlanta as well.
Lost to Atlanta. When you watch Buffalo play last night, you're like, something weird's going to have to happen for somebody to beat them, right? When you watch Philadelphia, you're like, that's a really good team. The Niners against the Rams, they look invincible. Against everyone else, they look okay.
But you got Christian McCaffrey basically a week ago. You're building for a postseason run. They'll be fine. Niners will be a dangerous team in the playoffs that most teams are like, oh, if we could avoid them, that'd be nice.
Probably, but we've seen this before. The Rams just, I've never had a relationship like that. I've never had a matchup where I just know that no matter what you do, I'm going to smash you. Or vice versa. No matter what I do, you're going to smash me. And that's what this is. And I know, I saw something the other day, yesterday during the postgame show. Somebody sent a tweet into the postgame show that was, the Rams got lucky in 2021. Number one, no, they didn't. Number two, even if they did, who cares? They won the Super Bowl.
No,
right?
there's some lucky moments, but you cannot tell me there's any team in any sport that doesn't have lucky moments on their way to winning.
You got to catch a break here or there. Yeah. Very rarely are you just that much better than everybody else. But thank God they got it, Slee, because where they are right now, looking at what's coming up next, that I will be really, really surprised if they make a deal between now and 1 o'clock tomorrow when the trade deadline comes. Because to do what? Unless all of a sudden you get a dynamic running back who shakes loose from somewhere, unlikely. I don't think they're a player away from going from where they are to a contender.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know they got a lot of pieces that it's not like there's one hole, and you could say if we could just get that part taken care of, everything else is going to flow. Christian McCaffrey went to the Niners. They gave up a little bit more compensation. They were in the conversation to go get Christian McCaffrey. They didn't do it. You think they'll regret not making that trade?
No, because I think if they thought, for instance, go back a year ago.
Did they win yesterday's game with Christian McCaffrey?
It's impossible to tell. There certainly would be better. Put it this way, if McCaffrey weren't in San Francisco yesterday, I think they find somebody else to do what he did. Maybe not exactly that and score 3 touchdowns, but the Niners have done it with Mostert. They've done it with Wilson. They've done it with Ayuk. They've done it with Kawan Williams. They've done it with so many different guys that McCaffrey's more of a name brand, but they've done it with non-name brands too. I think he's more valuable against everybody else. The Rams are not a player away. The Rams probably realized that they're not a player away. When San Francisco went to that, San Francisco gave up 4 picks. The Rams were offering 3. When they went to that 4th spot, it was like, we can't get there. We don't. They have a 2nd-round pick next year. They have a 3rd-round pick. They don't have a 1st. They don't have a 4th or a 5th. But they're getting into that point where they're going to be able to start to reload with some pretty decent players. They got to hold on to those things because this season, this is not a Super Bowl team. It's not.
I think if they would have made the trade for Christian McCaffrey and then decided, okay, hopefully health is going to be on our side. Hopefully Van Jefferson comes back. I know they didn't even use him yesterday, or they didn't actually throw to him. I think you could have started making a case when you're looking at the division, not even just the division, you're looking at the NFC standings, and the Rams, Tampa, and Green Bay are all locked together outside of the playoff picture.
All 3 of them will probably miss the playoffs.
Who would have thought that those 3 teams are all right next to each other, but outside of the playoff picture than inside the playoff picture. I don't know if they'll regret it. It just kind of goes against what they've done over the last few years, and maybe that's because they don't believe that they're a move away from being in contention.
Here, how about this? The NFC playoff picture, 6 of the 7 spots are basically locked up, right? Philly is going to win the East.
Yep.
Dallas is in as a wild card. The West is going to be either San Francisco or Seattle.
Yep.
Whoever is not San Francisco or Seattle
Will
probably
get
gets a
the
wild
wild
card. Minnesota wins the North. That's a lock. And one team out of the South. Whoever wins the South gets in. That means, here are the teams we haven't mentioned. The Giants, the Packers, the Bucks, the Rams, and Washington.
All fighting for one.
All fighting for one spot.
That's right.
They're all fighting for one spot. Now, maybe the Bucks slide in as the South winner, but Atlanta's on top of it right now.
Yeah.
So maybe the Bucks get knocked out. They're in no man's land, Slee. And yesterday was a disaster from top to bottom. It was a disaster from what it looked like in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It was a disaster from what it looked like on the field. And it was a disaster right up until the end of the... What the hell was Cooper Kupp doing on the field at the end of that game? The game's over. Under 2 minutes to go. You throw him the ball, let him take a hit. He gets rolled over. What did Sean McVay say about that?
He addressed it. Yeah, he said, I wish I would have ran.
How he characterized it, but he said that was a huge mistake on my part. Matt, dude, if that guy goes down, do they win another game? You know
what's funny? Every
game?
time I see that, when I always see, and I get it, I understand it. When I see somebody in the game late, I'll hear Michael and John talk about it. A game's out of reach. Okay, well, why is Braun in with 2 minutes? I'm just using Braun as it could be the opposing team, whatever the case is. I get that. I understand it. You want to. I think an injury can always happen anywhere, anytime. So I don't want to argue that because an injury can happen when they're just practicing.
True.
However, if it's out of reach, the game's over. I mean, you weren't. There was a minute left in a 14-10 game in the first half, and you decided to run the ball and not throw it. That's how conservative you got. At the end of the game, with a minute and some change you're throwing to Cooper Kupp, that didn't make any sense.
No, I get it if a guy gets hurt in practice. Like, to your point, it can happen at any time and anywhere, but why would if I can, we're not winning.
Yeah.
Game's over.
Yeah.
Take him out of the game. Let's do it. I want you to listen to this. This is Sean McVay after the game. Tell me what emotion comes to mind when you hear him talking about where the team is right now.
No, I think what you have to acknowledge is that, this is a different situation, but that doesn't mean you press the panic button. Let's look at the things that are occurring. And we've had a lot of different instances of things that have been different than any of the previous 5 years. What I'm not going to do is sit up here and make excuses.
Okay. Is there a word that pops in? Because Emily had a word this morning when we were talking about this that I think is spot on. Does something come to mind when you hear him talk like that?
Not panic. Like he said, we don't panic.
Yeah.
But it sounded a little panicky.
Okay.
But whatever less than, he's not panicking, but you could tell it was a guy that was talking a lot to just
you're close
describe
defeated. It sounds like, you know what, it's just we've had a lot of things go wrong. We're not going to quit. We're going to keep doing, but it just sounded like somebody, because we've heard him after losses. We've heard him when he's angry.
Yep. You've
heard him when he's frustrated. This sounds like, listen, we've had a lot of things go on this year. We're going to keep fighting. But the but part of it feels like we just don't have the sauce. We don't have what we need to make this thing pop moving forward. This isn't once player X comes back. Like for a long time, hey, wait till Odell. Odell's not fixing this.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't run at all, when you can't get off the field, there's no fixing this with one guy. They got to figure something out.
How desperate this weekend. Both teams.
Who's in a bigger spot? That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Be sure to be safe tonight and all day long. The LA Sports Mega Block, 9 hours of it live in Loco. Keep it. Don't touch the bun, yo. Travis and Sliwa continues right now.
Crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
I'm thinking like 5 is the number of little treats that I'm going to have. I'm not at once, but just over the course of, when does it get dark now? A little before 6, give or take.
Yeah.
Ding dong. That's when you open the bag, pour them in the bowl.
Yeah.
Hand out a few to the kids, one for yourself. I'm thinking like 5 pieces by the end of the night.
What's the strategy?
At least 3 or 4 of those.
What's the strategy of how much do you give?
I'm pretty generous. I give you kind of a handful. I'm not.
So are you
doing
out by like 6:15?
No, we stock up. We stock up, and I think the word gets out that we're. I'm not giving like half the bag, but I'll give you 4 little mini bars when you come by. Yeah, and if you get something good, if you have a costume that's good, if you have something Dodger related, you get whatever you want. You can have anything.
Here's the keys to my house.
Yeah, well, shoot. I mean, I'd give them a lot. If you showed up dressed as Freddie Freeman,
what if it was
I'm going to
Dave
hook
Roberts,
you up.
though?
Well, it depends on what his sheet says. If it says, okay, I get 2 Whoppers from the Rogers residence, I'll give him his 2 Whoppers.
Bobby said you give out hard-boiled eggs. You're big and giving out hard-boiled eggs.
Toothbrush, I've gotten those. Raisins, always a bad deal. And I like raisins, but Halloween, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's not a good deal. Okay, nobody.
But he cuts the apple.
You can't.
It's in 4s.
It's brown.
It's cored. We took it out so you can just kind of nibble on your snacks.
Here's a half a banana, everybody.
You're a real, you know what, if you're giving out something other than candy, right? How about, you guys might not be old enough to remember this. Did you ever hit the house that had the popcorn balls? Did you ever see those? Like homemade popcorn balls where somebody would make, like, it's kind of like a Rice Krispie treat, only it's a popcorn ball. Your mom would be like, oh, hell no, you're not eating that, and throw that straight into the trash. We're not, no, don't touch that.
Yeah, no one's making anything unpackaged.
They used to all the time. You'd come back with brownies and popcorn balls and apples and all sorts of weird stuff.
Sounds like good days.
He used to work at Chick-fil-A, and so he have like a lot of these. So back when Chick-fil-A would give out like physical coupons, like the paper coupons, he would give you a free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich coupon. Like when you would go, and like, here's Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, and that was a good house to stop by.
I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm going to give out Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
A voucher.
Here's a
$5
Costco.
off.
Buy 3 tires, get the 4th free.
If you spend $25 at Bed Bath & Beyond, we'll give you $5 off your
That's awesome.
your laundry hamper and your pledge. I don't know what else you get at Bed Bath &
Here's a
Beyond.
shirt
Nice.
I'm not wearing. Take it.
Let's try a phone call here. Let's go to Fontana and Ralph. Ralph, you're on with Travis Slee. What's up, Ralph?
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Good,
All
man.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, I got a numbers here, stats here that point out to where McVay is getting out coached, especially in the second half. In their 4 losses, Buffalo second half 0 points, Cowboys second half 0 points, 49er first game 3 points. Yesterday second half 0 points. That's 3 points in 4 games in the second half. He is, he's great at the scripted first 20 plays or whatever they do, but after that, he's not making adjustments, guys.
He's not.
Or they're making adjustments on him,
I think
and he
that's it,
can't
too.
adjust to it.
Look, the Rams had a good first half yesterday. They moved the ball. They protected Matthew Stafford really well. They didn't turn it over. And then the second half started, and it was right back to every other time they've played each other. So obviously Kyle Shanahan made some adjustments along the way. Look, the Rams have been bad this year. Their offensive line has been banged up. Their running backs are nowhere. Allen Robinson's been a huge disappointment. Leonard Floyd, who finally did get to the quarterback yesterday, has had an incredibly underwhelming season. Jalen's been pretty good. Aaron Donald's been pretty good. Sean McVay has not had a good year. I'm a Sean McVay fan. I really do think he's a unicorn of coaches. He's one of those guys, you put him in there, he's going to turn your program around. I believe that to be true. He's not. The end of the first half was weird. The end of the game with Cooper Kupp, he's just not on it the way that he typically has been.
Or
It's just true.
can I listen? Over time, if there's a recipe, this is not uncommon in the NFL. Do you feel like the recipe, the way the Rams are losing, I don't want to say it's the exact same recipe every single week, but there's a blueprint. There's a game plan of, hey, this is how you could potentially beat the Rams. I was listening to Kittle post-game, and Kittle was talking about really kind of just saying that there's a certain style of football they know that if they play against the Rams, there's a good chance that they're going to win the game.
They are so one-dimensional. They are so incredibly one-dimensional that they don't run, and everybody knows you're not going to run. And even if you try to run, it's not going
a threat.
anywhere. It's not a threat.
Yeah.
That you can. I mean, they just don't do it. And I don't care who you're playing. If I know you're going to pass every time, it's a huge advantage for me.
Of course it is.
And if I know that even on the rare occasion when you do run it, there's no chance of you popping one along the way, it's a huge advantage. And we could talk about the offensive line's been banged up. Not yesterday it wasn't. Yesterday you actually had a pretty functional O-line for most of the day, and you couldn't get anything done on the ground. Everything about this has been wildly underwhelming.
6 plays on the 1 yard line. And that one play, that's ridiculous.
And who got it in? Matthew Stafford
Barely.
ran it in from 1 yard. Nearly got killed in the process, but he got
might
it in.
be the best quarterback rusher I've ever seen
Lamar
in my life.
Yeah, Lamar
exactly.
Jackson and Matthew Stafford.
You said who's more desperate this upcoming weekend? So Tampa, we're talking about. So it's Tampa versus the Rams, and both teams are they 3-5 or 3-4?
Tampa's 3-5.
Okay, 3-5. Rams 3-4.
Yeah.
I think more desperate is the Rams, just because the division. You might be getting a couple of these squads. The way Seattle's playing right now, the way San Francisco, once they get Debo back, the record to get in to win the division, if you lose that game, it's a wrap. I already think that the Rams are not going to make the playoffs. That's my belief sitting here today. I don't think the Rams are going to make the playoffs.
I want to tell you you're wrong, but I'm having a hard time coming up for a reason why you're wrong.
But Tampa is chasing Atlanta rather than, just kind of looking specifically at who the Rams would be chasing in this instance.
2 games.
It's the Niners and the Seahawks. 2 games, actually, you could say that because of tiebreakers. I know they still got 2 left against Seattle. I think it's more desperate for the Rams, but I don't think the Rams are going to win this weekend. I don't. I think Tampa will win. I do, and I know they've played well against Tampa. I know they've played well at Tampa. And it's not that there's something Tampa's doing to make you feel a certain way about them. I just don't have confidence in the Los Angeles Rams. I just don't.
Nor do I. It really is a matter of who is hemorrhaging worse.
I know.
Right? Because you're not wrong about anything you said about the Rams, but Tampa has looked dreadful. Dreadful along. Tom Brady is down to, I think, 116 pounds. I think that he's just basically given up on eating anything. And look, even Tom Brady.
Better hope Cooper Kupp's okay and he's all right to go.
Look. Okay, look at my face.
Mm-hmm.
If Cooper Kupp is unable to play, they might not win another game.
Or how about if he's playing 60% of himself, 70% of himself?
If he is not Cooper Kupp, they will struggle to win every single game that they play. I don't want to say that they'll go winless in their last 9 games
but
of the season.
I know what you're saying.
Every single one. Look, Al, what do they have going offensively that's not throw it to Cooper? They're a little bit better with Allen Robinson again yesterday. He got an incredibly stupid penalty at that point. But their offense is non-existent outside of Kupp. If he's not around, what do you have? I mean, it would literally be like if you took LeBron off the Lakers. Maybe Anthony Davis can, but it's like, okay, we're basically done here.
Yeah, he's got to be fully 100%. Got to feel good the entire way. All right, Stat Hero, Weekend Hero. Weekend Hero is brought to you by Stat Hero. Look for local market lineups in the Stat Hero app and filter by single game. Pay attention to local market lineups at stathero.com. Don't forget to enter that promo code 710. You'll get a 100% deposit match. Stat Hero, winning isn't a fantasy. I know we both played over the weekend. I actually took an NBA lineup, which was kind of fun to do. Did the Lakers and the Nuggets yesterday. Did not win.
I went 0 for in my football as well.
Okay.
0 for 1.
We got to be better. But here's the beauty. You play Stat Hero. You download the app. You get that 100% deposit match. Pick the lineup that you think fits best. NBA games are fun. You know how much I love the NBA.
You do the World Series, too.
You play the MLB. You play all those baseball games, but we got all the football games as well.
Free money. 710 is your promo code. They're going to give you a 100% deposit match. A couple of quick tweets. This is from Kobe Forever. I'm 26, and I got popcorn balls in my neighborhood in Covina and Glendora. It was always the old ladies. Good luck unhinging your jaw like a cobra for that. They're big. So think of a softball.
I'm eating it. I'm not telling my mom. I'm eating it.
Oh, my gosh. Think of softball plus 10%. That's how big those things were more often than not. Capitano Matt. There was an old lady in my neighborhood that made popcorn balls. They were awesome. No, they weren't, Matt. Look, they were not awesome. I don't like popcorn, but I can see, like, for instance, Cracker Jack is okay. I don't mind some Cracker Jack along the way. But this thing would always have, like, that cheese flavored, or it'd be plain, and it was just glued together.
Is it like a Rice Krispie treat, kind of?
Kind of, but it didn't have the marshmallow factor in it. It was
They put cheese in it?
Popcorn and cheese and sugar. It was awful.
Big E says, Trav buying pizzas from Costco and handing out slices. Come here, guys. Come here.
You want a piece of flavorless dough?
You took a little piece off.
You can have it all.
You hate it that much?
I really don't like it. I really don't like it.
Also, someone on the line, I guess he couldn't stay on.
Use some hot sauce.
His name was Jesse in Rancho Cucamonga, but he said his dad used to work for, like, the Hostess company, whatever, the Little Debbie's, whatever, but they would hand it out, and so, like, his line down the street was, like, around the block.
Oh, you're getting a Twinkie or something. Come on.
So, okay.
Come on.
When was the last time you had a Twinkie Ding Dong cupcake from Hostess?
I've had a Ho-Ho recently, yeah.
Recently?
5 years, probably. I haven't had one in a while.
I hadn't had one, hand to God, I hadn't had one in at least 5 years. It might have been 10, might have been 15. Hadn't had one in forever. Can't remember the last time I had one. Susan bought a box of, like, Halloween-themed Hostess cupcakes. No.
They're gone?
There still plenty left if you would like me to bring them in for you.
Oh, you didn't like them?
No. Like, and I kind of like the nostalgia of it all. I'm pretty excited. You open this thing up, it's like, there's no way that's how they
that
used
thing
to be.
could survive. That thing could survive
Like
300
pucks.
years. There's no expiration date, nothing.
It was so rough. It was like, no, we're not actually going to eat the
sounds
rest
pretty
of
good.
these. I'll bring them in
To be honest
tomorrow.
with you.
I think they came 12 to a box. I think there's 11 and a half.
Ding
of them
dongs in
left.
there? I still have to try one.
No. Oh, you've never had a ding dong?
Yeah.
Chocodile. Chocodile.
Chocodile, that's what it was.
Chocodile, not a bad way. Factor Cap coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
And it's time for Factor Cap.
Oh, that's Cap. That's so Cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go fact.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
no, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys. So over the weekend, I watched the movie The Shining again. It's not the first time I watched it, but I watched it again. I was very tempted, Travis, when Jack Nicholson came on the screen. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were in this movie."
Yeah.
But,
well, look, I'll take that. That was what 1980 or something.
Yeah,
like
somewhere
that?
abouts. Yeah. He was a decent looking guy, scary but decent looking. Yeah, exactly.
He's a movie star.
He was supposed to not look great in the movie because he's crazy, but
I'm okay that I look like one of the generation's best movie stars until he was 65 and naked in that tub. That's the part I didn't like.
Okay, guys. So this is an old clip that I'm gonna play again for you real quick, and it's Randy Moss talking to Bill Belichick.
You're not interested in that, are you?
In what?
Halloween party. Well, this is what it is. We're
dressed as the devil.
No, that's what we're doing. Well, hey, you might win the damn prize. Trying to, get us a little DJ, get us a roller rink, and have us a good night. But like I said, you're more than welcome or whatnot.
I'm sure.
It's like, for instance, Halloween. I mean, we don't go out no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we still have that.
It's a great holiday.
It's
a
what I'm
great
saying?
holiday.
So we're
candy and costume.
Yeah.
How can you beat that?
Right.
Okay, so Bill Belichick would be the worst person to have at a costume party. Travis, Factor Cap.
I think that's Cap. I think Bill Belichick is sneaky interesting, sneaky funny, sneaky like the guy that you'd actually have a great deal of fun with at a cocktail / Halloween party or something. I think because he's like best friends with John Bon Jovi. He gets out and does some interesting things. He goes to concerts. He has a good time. As long as you tried to engage him on anything that wasn't football, I think it'd go really, really well. I think that he's like with Moss right there. You could tell he's having a little fun with it. I'd settle up with Bill Belichick at a party. I think that'd be okay.
All right, I'm with you on this one. It's almost like we look at Popovich. Popovich is actually a pretty damn funny guy.
As long as it's not about basketball.
But that's the thing is like he will have quotes where you're like, damn, that's entertaining. You try to ask him a question. When you get to sideline reporters do whatever the case is, every time you kind of fall into this. Don't fall into the trap of actually asking Popovich about something basketball related because he's going to give you a one word answer.
Wine.
Ask about anything else. Yeah. I think these guys, and I look, Belichick right out the gate, what should he wear? He should just be Belichick and come in his exact gear and the cutoffs at the party. Like, that would be fantastic to have him there. But I would be okay with having Belichick there.
He would be a terrific party guest.
Taylor?
Cap, yeah, I'd love to party with Belichick too, and especially you guys know Randy Moss is my dude, so that sounds like a perfect party.
I think there's something about, like you're talking about with Belichick and Popovich specifically.
Now, Tim Duncan might just be boring.
Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Those guys know so much more about their area of expertise that it's a waste of their time to talk to anybody else about it. Like, you ever see that clip with Belichick and Saban talking to each other? They're fully engaged. They are absolutely enraptured by the other guy's presence because this person knows what I'm talking about. This person understands my language. But if hey, why didn't you go for it on 4th down? They have no time for nonsense like that.
Didn't Duncan dress up as Joey Crawford, though, on Halloween? Wasn't that something?
Did he do that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tony Parker.
Damn it. Maybe they do have personalities. We just don't know.
Not Tim Duncan. Everybody else I'm listening to, not Tim Duncan.
All right, so trick-or-treating should end when you leave elementary school. Alan, Patrick Cap.
So what are you, 5th grade there? No.
Like 10.
I'll go Cap on this one. I think go a little further. I think 12 years old. That's probably the cutoff. If you're a teenager, now we're talking kind of the stage of, all right, what are you going to do? You're going to do this till you're 15? I think the right age is about 12. I say you go past 5th grade. Get into that 6th grade. 7th is pushing it. You got to stop after that.
I'm going to go a little further than that because, look, if you are one of those 14-year-olds that's got one of those gross Dungeons and Dragons mustaches, then you should probably chill out. But if you're
so
one of
less
those,
the age.
If you look like one of those 14-year-olds who looks like he's 9, go for it. Go have a good time, right? It's more about where you are physically in your life than it is your actual birth certificate age because there are 14-year-olds that look 19 and there are 14-year-olds that look 9. So just kind of enjoy it as long as you can. There are very few things that are fun like that because once you get old, all that cool stuff is kind of, I can't do it because somebody might laugh or anything else. And enjoy yourself. You want to go trick-or-treating at 16, knock yourself out unless you drive yourself there, then don't.
Taylor?
Cap, I've never been trick-or-treating. I think I told you that. I told you guys that before, but I feel like I want to go do it now because I missed out on something. Part of my childhood, I grew up in the middle of nowhere.
How would Taylor be accepted walking around neighborhoods at this age at 6'4"?
So I'm trying to think if Taylor, are you wearing the Taylor Smith costume?
No. I put a mask on, maybe like a skeleton mask.
That's
or something like
that's
that.
even more scary.
You don't look like you're 15, but you do look young. Okay, so if you had a mask on and I couldn't see your face, he could just be some freak high school kid that's 6'5".
I would lock the door. I would lock the door. I would not open the door.
Now, if he just knocked a trick or treat, can I help you, sir?
I'd have to throw my voice a little bit, trick or treat.
Can I help you, sir? Yeah, well, where I grew up, we didn't really do Halloween, so I'm trying to make up for some lost time. You got any Butterfingers in there? I'd be like, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah,
buddy.
call the cops.
Get off my doorstep.
Turn the alarm
it's time
on.
for the trick then.
Where are your children? None? All right, 911 call coming next.
Get in your house egg.
All right, so Jimmy Kimmel does this thing every year where he does this whole joke where the parents will pretend that they ate all their kids' Halloween candy. All right, so Jimmy Kimmel's in the wrong for doing this. This is a bad guy move. Taylor, Fetcher Cap.
No, Cap. This is hilarious. I think just messing with your kids a little bit is good for them sometimes.
Trav?
It's both, right? It is both incredibly funny and very, very mean, right? Because, like I was just saying a second ago, Al, when you're a little kid, Halloween's a big deal. You get to put on your costume, you get a big bag of candy, you get to hang out
work
with your
for
friends,
it, you walk around.
Work for it, all of these things. Like it is a big day. Christmas, birthday, Halloween. These are big days for a 10-year-old.
Yep.
And so if mom and dad are like, watch this, I'm going to pretend I threw it all away.
Yep.
It's a bad guy move. It's also, those videos are amazing. I can't get enough of them.
Yeah, couldn't be more fact. Are you kidding me? Every time I watch those videos, I'm like, that little princess is 6 years old. And she freaking thinks that you guys ate her candy that she went out and worked for. Also, Jimmy Kimmel can get some laughs on his network or whatever the case is. I think it's the most jacked up thing. Have I watched it? I have. Have I laughed at it? I have. Do I feel incredibly bad for the children? I do.
And what's great too is like you see the
Children
range
are scarred.
The range of emotions of the kids, because like some of the kids are like, "Oh, it's okay,
That's
Mom
okay.
and Dad." I give them a hug, and the other ones are like, bring back old history, like going at these parents. Are like,
I'm gonna tell Dad
watch something.
She's the best one. This is like the time you did, and then they start bringing up the
Like
old
call
stuff.
them fat or something.
Yeah.
You're like all these things. You're like, I didn't know if I wanted to do that. You find out the true nature of your children at the
There
moment.
are moments when your children tell you the truth and you don't want to hear it. I've told you this, guys. There was one of those pills you take to replace your hair or whatever. Bobby was, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. He goes, Dad, you should get those. I'm like, why? He goes, because you're bald. I'm like, well, damn. That was kind of rough.
Go get your shoes.
All right, so I think when I grew up, I kind of did both. I was very much the creator of my own costumes. I picked out my own stuff. I had my conceptual idea, and my parents just either tried to execute it for me or I did it myself. So you picked out your own costumes as a kid. Travis, Fat or Cap?
No, I was kind of mainstream as a kid. I would get, as I got a little older, like in Halloween at UCSB is a big deal, or at least it used to be. I think they kind of shut it down now. I don't think you're allowed to do what you did back in the 90s. And I would kind of freelance it at that point, but I was always like out of the box guy, like give me a Darth Vader costume or something like that. I was never terribly creative with that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was never. I didn't pick out anything. So for me, it was. I think I was a pirate maybe 7 years in a row. It's like, yeah, my mom's like, yeah, this one will work. We'll just run
Save
this.
that eye patch. We're going to need it next year.
We're just going to run this for a good X amount of years in a row. It was cost effective. They can just use a different shirt, maybe rip it a little bit, make it look a certain way. So I was pretty much the same thing, same sword the entire time. I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I don't even know if that matches. Do pirates have swords?
Sure.
And we just went through the whole thing, and it was the same thing every year.
Taylor?
I didn't do it as a kid, like I said, but as an adult, I've done a big baby. I dressed up as a big baby one year.
Like with the bow on your head
yeah,
kind of deal?
Yeah, and the onesie. And I've done Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas.
That'd be a good one for you because you're tall and skinny.
Did that, and then I did Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Check him out.
Yeah.
So here, I have a question, and anybody that's roughly my age will remember these. You used to go to like, it wasn't Target then, but it was the equivalent of whatever Target was back in 1977. And I wanted to be Darth Vader for Halloween one year. And you would go, they have this plastic mask that would just have like a string around the back that was just like a face plate, right? Like literally one-dimensional. There was no texture to it at all. And it had eye holes that you'd look at. And then it had like a plastic smock that you would wear over it. So let me ask you guys. Let's go around the room very quickly. What do you think the smock was of? Anybody? Keep in mind, it's a Darth Vader costume. What do you think it is?
I don't know, like polyester. There's like
No, like on it. What's printed on the smock?
Probably all those wires and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you would think. The lights, the flashing lights, the breathing apparatus. It had the logo from the movie. Like, what the hell?
It had the credits.
I'm not going as George Lucas, who created Darth. It had the logo of the movie on the chest. It said Darth Vader, and it said Star Wars. That's not a Darth Vader. What the hell is that? It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It's hilarious.
Still bothers me.
Pretty funny.
My, I guess my favorite one that I came up with as a kid was my soccer costume, or not costume, my soccer uniform that year was black and orange. That was our color for the team. And I just went as an undead soccer player, like a zombie soccer player. And I was like a little, I had makeup all over my face. That was my one favorite thing. So I think we kind of already talked about this before, but I'm going to say it again. Non-chocolate candy is better than chocolate candy in a bag. Travis, Fat or Cap?
Better than. For me, fact. Like I'm okay with chocolate. I don't dislike it, but the other things are more interesting to me because the chocolate candies are always around. But if there's something that's off-brand, that's a little bit like the salted nut roll that we're talking about, Taylor, that's a more savory treat. A little bit of sweet in there, but a little bit more savory. Just endless amounts of milk chocolate at Halloween I could do without.
Chocolate candy all day long. I just wanted the chocolate candy. I just walked right now. I did look. I wanted to look at the candy again. The Twix, the Kit Kats, they're the largest thing that I've ever seen. I could eat all those. I will do chocolate candy over anything else.
Taylor?
I prefer the non-chocolate too. Give me the Twizzlers, give me the Mike and Ikes, give me the Sour Patch Kids, all that kind of stuff. Starburst, Skittles.
Ooh, Starburst are great.
Yeah, more variety than chocolate.
What about Nerds? Remember Nerds?
Mm-hmm.
The little sweet and sour Nerds.
Or the Nerd Rope.
sleeve?
I still
What
think
about what was the Fun
Over
Dip?
chocolate?
Fun Dip? Did you guys ever have? Oh my God, that stuff.
So
was
Fun Dip,
so bad.
Fun Dip, just so we're all on the same page here. is different colors of like granulated sugar.
Yeah.
There's a little red, a little green, a little purple, with a solid sugar stick that you dick into the granulated sugar. It was 2 ways to eat sugar simultaneously. Greatest candy ever, had to be invented.
And
by
to lick it too, so that the sugar would stick to it too. It's great.
That's right. It was called like Lickamade or something weird.
Something like that,
Something like that. Yeah, we need to bring that back. And you get to just go over and over and over again. USC wins, UCLA wins. First college football playoff ranking comes out tomorrow. Where are they going to land? That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
I found the old Darth Vader costume from 1977 that I had as a kid. It is retailing for, retail's the wrong word. It's on eBay, $80. They want $80 for it. Did I describe it accurately, guys?
Yes.
Very much. Expensive.
It's a plastic smock that says Star Wars on the chest.
The mask, too, had like no definition. It was just like a black
flat
thing. Yeah.
It's like a cardboard cutout almost, where you just poke your nose through it.
It's still $80.
$80. It's probably $8 back in 1977.
You, if you still have yours, it's gone up. It's gone up. Yeah, you keep those baseball cards, some of those collectibles.
The Beanie Baby.
Wait, you don't have any. You kept some, right?
I
Some
kept
of the
some.
baseball?
I went from having literally tens of thousands of them to I have a couple hundred.
And this was all during COVID?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, it's taking up a lot of space. They were literally, what you had that moment. It's like, why do I have stacks of useless cardboard in my garage? I should probably throw these things away. It's a bad way to do it. You know what I like to do at the Rams games, right, Slee? When we're doing our pregame and our postgame show, when
The
people come
M&Ms?
by, like to say, hey, what's up? You ready for the list?
See.
This one was in Rodney, who is a L.A. County sheriff's deputy.
Awesome.
He came by, he and his buddy Tracy. They say they listen to us on the job when they're driving around.
Awesome.
So if you get stopped by an L.A. County sheriff's deputy, say, hey, are you Rodney? We listen to the Travis and Sliwa show. You can maybe do that together. Joe at Hollywood Park Casino, thanks for coming by. Coretta, we had a nice long discussion about the UCLA Bruins. She is an alum. She thinks the UCLA is getting going. Jack and his mother came by. James from North Carolina listens to us on the app. Josh is a long-haul trucker based here in California, drives all over the country, says he listens to us every day through the ESPN app. Paul came by. He was a Locked On Rams guy, too, so that was exciting to meet Paul. What else do we have? Joe at HBC I mentioned. So a whole bunch of people came by. Always fun to hear people ask. Same question as always. Where's Slee?
He's using the restroom.
He's getting ready to do a Laker game.
He'll be out in just a second.
Coretta didn't ask about you. She wanted to.
She wanted all you.
Yeah, she's fair. She's a huge Laker fan, and she says to me, she goes, "I know Alan's like he's as big a Laker fan as I am, but you tell me the truths I need to have." And I said, "So you mean like I'm kind of mean?" She goes, "Well, a little bit, but we need to hear."
I'm lying.
Way.
Apparently,
you're not lying, but you're the optimist. And I'm more of the pessimist / realist.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yes.
And
we've all got them. Mine are chipped and dirty and cracked and everything else that goes along with it. Tomorrow, first college football playoff ranking comes out at 4 o'clock our time. SC and UCLA, they're both in a really good spot. UCLA slightly less because they already lost to Oregon, who's ahead of them. But USC gets to play SC. Or SC gets to play UCLA, who's right on their heels. If things hold the way that it looks like they're going to, they'll get to play Oregon in a Pac-12 championship game, which would be a big win for them. And I'm telling you, look online right now, Sleep. Go to ESPN.com. Go to some of these other places. Go to their college football page. You know who's on that front page, along with Ohio State and Georgia? SC. And I get it. Just it's a producer online or whatever. SC has a brand. It has cachet.
Yeah.
They have that thing where people want to put them in.
Yeah.
If they give them a reason to get into the Final Four, I think they're going to do it. I really do. They got to run the table from here on out. They can't lose again. They're going to need a little help. TCU needs to lose. Clemson needs to lose. But if they can stay a one-loss team, I really do think they'll put them in.
So let me first say that it's so impressive to be sitting here and you're 9 weeks into the college football season, and we're having a conversation not just about USC, having a conversation about UCLA too. It's pretty damn cool. It really is. We keep saying this the last couple of weeks that if they run the table, they're going to face each other at the Rose Bowl, as in win your next 2 games. You're going to face each other at the Rose Bowl. UCLA and USC going up, both 1 losses for a chance to go play potentially in the Pac-12 champ. That's a pretty damn cool story. Now, what you're saying about, hey, everybody wants USC, they're going to put them in the mix, whether it's a Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. They want to put USC in there. I don't think they're good enough to be in that top 4. I do think they probably have a loss coming their way, even if it's in the Pac-12 championship. They don't play defense.
No.
They play no defense at all. And that to me is just what – and it's not trying to take away some thunder from USC. It's just the reality of who they are. They, at this point of the season, it's been – really, really impressive to see what they've done. It's been fantastic. They only lost 1 game and it was by a point because Utah went for 2. So give them credit. However, they've had a cake schedule, and on top of that cake schedule, they just give up so many points. Once you play a team that's actually good, I don't know how they're going to beat them.
2 things can be true at the same time. Everything you said is true. And whether they can get there is question number 1. I think you're right. I think somebody else is going to beat them before they get there, namely probably Oregon, but we'll see. Here's what they've done. They've given up 37, 43, and 25 to ASU in 3 of their last 4 games. Lincoln Riley, and you can say, hey, look, he just got here, give him some time to rebuild the defense. Fair point, but the larger point is this is exactly what he did at Oklahoma every year, too. This is kind of their MO.
Which is why they were not able to win a national championship. They can't stop anybody.
I remember being at the Rose Bowl when they played Georgia a handful of years ago, and it was, I want to say it was a double overtime game. Both teams were in the high 40s or 50s. It was a joke. It's like, one person, please get a stop here. They didn't get a stop in Oklahoma. They're not getting stops here at SC. Somebody's going to clip them. Now, if they can outscore Oregon, they can win that game 52-49 or something like that. I think whether they're one of the 4 best teams isn't as important as let's put them in because it's USC. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt the way that Alabama gets it, the way that Ohio State gets it, the way that some of these other programs just have. Notre Dame certainly gets the benefit of the doubt when they get in the mix like that. SC is one of those programs. They just got to find a way to not get clipped one more time, which is asking a lot.
Michigan, Ohio State still got to play each other.
They play each other.
Georgia, Tennessee play each other this weekend, I think.
And the winner of that will have to play Alabama in the SEC championship
So
game.
you're going to have teams with one loss. You're going to have teams.
and TCU are the two teams you look at and say, okay, who's going to beat them? There's not a ton of good teams in the rest of that conference. But, we say this every year. It's November tomorrow. Still got a lot of football. They still got 4 games to play.
Yeah, there is. That's why I kind of go back to this. Whether I got confidence that SC is going to get there or not, the fact that we're having a conversation about it, the fact that we're having a conversation about UCLA, the fact that there's 2 college football teams, 2 college football programs.
Do you really think
right
UCLA's in it?
So they'd have to beat USC.
Beat Oregon again in a Pac-12 championship situation.
No, I don't. But that's okay. Like, I go back to this. Just that the fact that they're in the conversation, to me, is so impressive for UCLA. Do I think they'll actually do it? No, I don't think they will. Oregon's got 1 loss. Their 1 loss is against Georgia.
By 46.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, I know. First game of the season. It was in Atlanta. There's a bunch of things stacked up.
But it's also
46.
Georgia. I think if they play again, they're still losing by 20 points.
36. 46 points. They lost 49-3. And it was one of those things you're watching going, okay, Alabama has a better player at literally every single position. And then you watch them go, Georgia. They're going to need to get a lot of help to get in. But here's the thing. Let's say SC does get to Pac-12 championship situation and Oregon puts 45 on them. Or even if you get into the Final Four, probably a little bit different because you're in the Final Four. What if this is his norm? What if this is the way that USC football plays out exactly like Oklahoma? Really, really good.
Yeah.
In the mix right up until you have, Cal put 45 on us and upset us, like something like that. That was the pattern at Oklahoma. What if it's the same pattern
Not
here?
good enough. And I agree. And I think this, and this will become more of a conversation. You're right about let this year go by. What if the kid says, if you're USC, are you not saying, and if you're Lincoln Riley, are you not saying, hey, we need a defensive coordinator that is known for playing defense, that's one of the best in the country, whatever it takes, let's go get him. Like, what makes you not go address the other side of the football? What makes you not address Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State? They address the other side of the football. Why would you be the one university that doesn't address the other side of the football?
Wait till they get a hold of my offense. Watch this. Yeah, well, you're going to need to stop somebody at some point. All right. 2 things. Number 1, I'm looking at my old Darth Vader costume. I missed a point of this, guys. Underneath the star, where it says Star Wars on the chest, you know what it says, Slee?
What does it say?
1977 20th Century Fox Corporation. Yep. Like, it literally has the corporate copyright on the front of the costume. So that's what 7-year-old doesn't want to. You're channeling the Force.
Yep.
You want to fight Obi-Wan. You want to fly and prevent the Death Star from being blown up.
And then it also says
20th
what
Century
law
Fox
firm
Corporation.
represents.
So disappointing.
That's so on brand with George Lucas, though. I mean,
It absolutely is. It's the worst costume in the world.
Just got to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
Really wish I still had it. Miles Turner, he's down for a trade. That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 17.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Here we go. Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa. Travis and Sliwa is on for your Monday. We're here each weekday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We begin 9 hours of LA sports talk all day long. Happy Halloween, yo!
Did the Monster Man.
Hopefully you had a good weekend. Maybe you got into some Halloween parties. You got some candy. So, let's start here. Congratulations to the Black and Gold. LAFC wins the Western Conference Final.
LAFC are champions of the MLS Western Conference. They're going to the MLS Cup Final.
They advance Saturday at the Bank, the Audi MLS Cup Final. Look at LAFC making us proud in the Southland. Meanwhile, a little yin and a little yang. First, let's start with the Rams. Yeah.
What I'm not going to do is sit up here and make excuses.
I mean, what can I even say? I'll leave that for Travis. But did you hear the celebration in the streets of the Southland last night across Southern California? I think Alan Sliwa ran around Crypto.com last night like a sugared-up child running around tonight in a Superman costume. The Lakers get their first win of the season. A nice night for AD. He didn't get hurt. And congrats to Darvin Ham for that first win of the season.
This is Darvin Ham. You're listening to Lakers Talk with Alan Sliwa.
Let's get to it. A Monday, a Halloween Monday with Travis and Sliwa right now.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody. Emily, I saw a costume. Is that your costume down by your feet over there?
So there is a costume down here, but we cannot find anything to blow it up. So I don't know if anybody remembered if you were at the softball game this past, was it July? So the interns did a race in their costumes. It was like an inflatable unicorn and inflatable.
Okay.
Remember that when they
T-Rex.
sprinted?
Yeah.
There's 3 of them that sprinted.
I was having a good time at that. I may have not. I do not recall that particular.
I was like, what's going
race.
on over there?
Probably throwing wiffle balls, Trav.
Oh, that could have been it too. I did throw
4
wiffle balls
hours.
for 3 hours.
Okay, so but Greg, I was like, because Greg was talking about how he was going to wear the T-Rex suit. And I was like, oh, when he walked in, he was like, oh, I'm going to be this other costume for their show later on. And I was like, oh, why aren't you going to be the T-Rex? And he was like, oh, well, I'll do it if you'll do it. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be the unicorn if you can find someone to blow this up. But now we don't know what the pump is.
You need to go to the gas station.
Yeah, I was going to say, your tire. Remember when your tire was down? If
Emily had the tire situation this weekend.
Yes, okay, so I was here. I was getting ready for the Rams game, printing stuff off. So then when I left, when I went down to the parking lot, my tire was like low, and I was like, oh no. So actually, it's funny because Taylor was there at the same time as me. He was pulling in, and so I was like, Taylor, how do I put air in my tires? I don't know how to do that. I've never had to do it before. And so,
really?
No, I'd never had to do. I either was completely flat and I had to change it, or whatever.
I thought you were just looking for a place to go. I didn't know that you actually didn't know how to inflate.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. Like, anyway, so I figured it out. I YouTubed it, but I had to go to the show, and I went inside. And I was like, hey, can you turn on the air thing for me? Because I was like, from what someone said last time, it was like,
that's
it's
right.
free.
You don't have to pay.
Yeah, it's free.
Right.
So I was like, oh yeah, can you do it? And she was like, only this time. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to come back again.
Wait. So are they required to turn it on?
I believe that's a law.
Only one time.
And she went with the only this time.
Like she has to refill the air pressure. Like she has to.
Was it like a buck? Is it a buck?
It's like $1.50.
It's between $1 and a couple of bucks, depending on where you go.
Yeah, but the tire's been fine now. But I might pull a Travis that keeps leaking.
No, I would go back to that same gas station tomorrow, and I would say, hey, can you turn it on? Just see what she says.
Bring a copy of the statute that says that they have to turn it on, and you can print it out for
only
right here,
this
lady.
time.
Right here. California Civil Section 1-26, subsection 4.
Bring a lawyer with you, too.
Got a question for you guys. So I go with my buddy Greg. We go to watch a little football on Saturday afternoon. Not Greg Bergman, different Greg. And so we're sitting there. We're on the patio. They got 3 TVs set up, and we're watching the games. Georgia, Florida's on one, and we want to watch Oregon and Cal on the other.
Okay.
Said to the waiter, actually it's the bus boy, I said, hey, would you mind putting the Oregon-Cal game on that other TV? He said, yeah, sure, no problem. So he goes, and he turns on the Pac-12 network, which was running an old Oregon-Cal game, okay, from like 5 years ago, coincidentally. I said, okay, he didn't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I said to him, hey, that actually is not the right channel. This game's on FS1. It's channel 219 on DirecTV. This is Pac-12 network. He goes, no, it said Cal Oregon. I said, I understand, but this is not the right Cal Oregon. This is Cal Oregon, but I want the one that's actually happening. He goes, oh, okay, let me go look. never goes and changes the channel. It just sits there. So waitress comes over and says, can we take you? So we order some beers, nachos, wings. Pretty good Saturday afternoon, if I do say so myself. And I said to the waitress, I said, hey, that TV right there, can we get that on the Oregon-Cal game? She says, sure. Let me go get that change for you. She disappears and never does it. Brings the beers. I said, I know that says that's Oregon-Cal. Yeah. It's not. It's you got to trust me on this. That's not the. She goes, oh, let me go find out.
I already have a migraine listening to this.
They don't change it. They just leave it there. I asked 3 times. I looked at my buddy Greg, and I'm like, I guess we're watching Oregon-Cal from 1997 because there's no way that I'm asking for a 5th time. Do I just, at that point, you just let it go?
No, I think I dig my feet in deeper. I really do. Like if it was, hey, you know what, for some reason this receiver, we're having issues with FS1, we're not getting it. Give me something. Give me something. Lie to me if you need to. Don't tell me. And by the way, if I'm the busboy and I'm not a sports fan, I have no idea what's going on, and I just put on the Pac-12 network and Cal and Oregon is on, I'm thinking you had too much to drink. I'm like, what are you talking about in this whole situation?
I get it. I get why he thought that was the thing, but I explained to him,
but
this
if you
is
say,
an older game.
Can you just go to FS1?
Yeah.
Forget about who's playing. Just go to FS1. And if you can't do it, just give me the damn remote. I'll do it.
It was so, and then the game goes from the old taped Cal-Oregon game from like 97 to a Cal-UCLA water polo match. So now there's water polo on the TV, which I'm not looking for on a Saturday afternoon, like a little college football.
Yes.
And I said to her, see, Oregon-Cal, it's on FS1. Please.
Never got resolved?
I guarantee you she turned around, walked back into the bar, and it never even crossed her mind. And at this point, I'm like, she wins. I give up. She and the busboy, they defeated me. I'm out. We watched Georgia and Florida.
I would have unplugged that TV. I'd rather want nothing.
The other one had
nothing
like
on that
UCF
screen.
and Cincinnati. I'm like, come on, man. It's Pac-12 country. Let's put that on.
I never understand that when you walk into a bar and it either doesn't have the main game on or it doesn't have local games. I'm always like, wait, what's going on? Okay, I had one of these at the gym. You go to the gym and by the lockers, there's a TV there, and there's no remote. So you basically have to walk, like, let's say for 2 minutes to get to the guy that would have a remote. I know 2 minutes doesn't sound a lot, but 2 minutes is a little bit of a walk. Okay?
4-minute round trip.
4-minute round trip. So they have like a UC. It's like one of those, right? It's
UCF and Cincinnati.
I think they're always on. I think those games are always on. All right. And a lot of times it's just because there was a game on and maybe the game ended, whatever the case is. But in my head, I'm like, you have an SC game on right now. At the time, Dodgers were playing the Padres. I'm like, you have all these local games going, and this is the game that you have on? And they don't even, like, really understand it. Like, well, I don't know what you mean it's on ESPN. I get it's on ESPN, but there's other games on.
I don't have that gear where I
have a pet peeve of mine, too.
I really wanted to dig in. I'm like, she's not. She wins. I completely punted and gave up. Why are people giving the Lakers a hard time for hitting Darvin Ham with a Gatorade shower after his first win? I truly don't get it.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'll tell you why. It's the Lakers, and people love. If you're not a Laker fan, there are a lot of people that really, really enjoy watching the Lakers lose. And every loss that they get, they were the last team to win a game. They were the last team to win a game. So
anybody in mind that you're talking about?
Going into Friday, Orlando, Sacramento, and the Lakers all hadn't won a game. Orlando got one on Friday.
Kings got their first win.
Sacramento got one on Saturday.
Before the
Lakers finally got theirs on Sunday. So I think there's just this natural tendency to want to kick the Lakers when they're down. And
it kind of harkens to the playoff, the play-in with Minnesota.
But it's not. It had nothing to do. They weren't celebrating their first win of the season. They were celebrating Darvin Ham's first win of his head coaching career.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the Lakers winning. It was Ham winning.
They like the dude. You can tell from the player's perspective that this is a dude that they genuinely like. So that's the best way that I can describe it. People will take that and they will say, "Oh, Lakers got their first win of the season. Look what they're doing." No, they were doing it for Darvin Ham. They weren't doing it for their first.
Who do they play on Wednesday? They play Utah Pelicans. If they do it on Wednesday against the Pelicans,
we got an issue.
Let it rip.
Then we got an issue.
I'll open the show on Thursday morning with saying, "Fellas, what are we doing here?"
I'm with you on that.
But Darvin Ham, I don't care what it is, baseball, football, whatever. Your coach gets his first win of his career, and Darvin Ham hasn't been a head coach anywhere else.
No,
this is his first spot. I was 100% okay with it.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I thought, because I think a lot of people take what you just said and they will look at the Lakers. Look, they got their first win. They're celebrating, guys. They're not. LeBron James has been to the NBA Finals 10 times. Okay, he's not celebrating their first win of the season. He's celebrating Darvin Ham.
Yeah, it was a nice moment to see it. Miles Turner went on Woj's podcast. Yeah. And this does not sound like somebody who's playing for one team in the middle of a season. This sounds like somebody who is a free agent lobbying where they would like to go.
You know, if I'm the Lakers, I take a very hard look at this with the position that you're in. You know, I know what I can provide for a team. You know, my leadership, my shot blocking, you know, my three-point ability, and just my ability to make plays out there on the floor. And I take a very long look at it. But as far as pulling the trigger, you know, that's I get paid to shoot. Now, you know, I'm meant to make these calls, so I couldn't answer that.
That sounds like an NBA analyst talking about a situation like, hey, what do you think about Miles Turner
to the J.J. Redick talking about.
That's Miles Turner talking about Miles Turner. It's A, his analysis is really good. And B, it's just, I don't think I've ever heard somebody talk about, you know, if I were looking to make a move involving me, this is how I would look at it. I loved it. It kind of makes me want him to do it, even though I don't think it's a good idea. I just like that he's lobbying for it like that.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. By the way, that's an interesting conversation, Woj, to have Miles Turner, specifically because he's always brought up in trades. Obviously, a lot of those trade conversations are with the Lakers. Yeah, he wants out of Indiana. He thinks he can help the Lakers, thinks he could take them to the next level. Can I tell you this? And the Western Conference is interesting right now. The Golden State Warriors lost 2 games over the weekend. They lost one against Charlotte, one against the Pistons.
And they're giving up a ton of points.
They play no defense.
Right.
The Clippers have lost 4 games in a row, and Kawhi is already missing games. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you that you're going to get much out of a week of basketball or a week and a half. It's just such a small sample size. But Utah's winning some games. Randomly, Portland's 5-1. There's some teams that you weren't expecting to be in the mix.
Denver's just kind of, they're 4-3.
4-3. And I only bring that up because I guess we all just assumed those top teams in the West are just going to jump out and you're never going to catch them. And the Lakers start out the season 0-5, and it's like, hey, their season is over. Let's kind of see how things play out, but it's interesting that this is the way things have started, and Miles Turner's trying to make this case.
I want to pick up on that because you're right. The Lakers season is obviously not over, but you wonder just kind of the combination of the two things together, that bad start and the fact that there is this weird start to the season. How much behind the 8 ball did they actually put themselves by blowing the first 5 games of the season? That's coming up in a bit.
All right, Stat Hero of the Day, Darvin Ham, like we mentioned, got his first win as a head coach in the NBA. Stat Hero of the Day is brought to you by Stat Hero. Look for local market lineups in the Stat Hero app and filter by single game. Pay attention to local market lineups at stathero.com. Don't forget to enter that promo code 710. You'll get a 100% deposit match. Stat Hero winning is in a fantasy. What does the 100% deposit match means? Means you put $50 into the app.
50.
They're gonna match it. There's
put
$50 right there.
Get 100. Put 10. Get 10.
$10. Doesn't matter. Whatever you do, Stat Hero winning is in a fantasy.
All right. How far behind actually are they after just 6 games of the season? Maybe not as bad as it might look. That's next. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
But that's okay. They're having fun doing sports radio. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube live streaming. Just go to YouTube, search ESPNLA, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment. You can watch the show live, plus you can check out Slee's Lakers Talk Daily coming up later this afternoon. Travis and Sliwa continues your Monday right now.
Should have been the guy from the Six Flags. Come on. That would have been perfect.
It's not a bad idea. When I go home tonight, I'm going to wear that.
Emily, did you just think of that?
I think somebody tweeted it, right?
Someone tweeted it, but it works.
Dude, it's perfect.
There's a Photoshop, too, last week.
Yeah. Huge missed opportunity. You need to go out trick-or-treating
Well, I thought it was the
$80.
if I was going to buy an $80 mask. $80.
No,
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
He doesn't know what the guy is.
No, I do. We saw the commercial. You guys were playing
You
it.
just need like
big glasses,
bow ties, big glasses, bald
dancing the way
head.
he dances.
Like a red bow tie, I want to say.
Yep, and then suspenders.
Yeah, you could. That's $5 through Walmart. You got that thing.
You
all
already
you
have
need
a
to
suit.
find.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go.
Should have made it happen.
You should wear it tomorrow. Just even though it's a day late, just like, hey, look, this was such a good idea that we need to do it a day late.
Should we have dressed up, you and I?
I mean, we could have.
We could have.
Okay.
We could have.
I thought about dressing up this morning, and then I was like about to put on my costume.
You should have done it.
No one else is going to dress up.
Yeah, you should have
All the more reason to do it.
Yeah,
carry the load for the team.
I was going to be Elizabeth Holmes from, Theranos. It would have been a very simple outfit, black turtleneck, and I would talk in a deep voice.
Red lipstick.
Don't listen to Travis and I. Like, you should have done it.
Yeah.
You definitely should have done it.
What do you mean don't listen to him? We're both saying she should have done it.
As in, like, don't use us as an example.
You know what? I may get dressed up tonight. I may hand out candy to the kids and open the door and be in a. Oh my gosh! You know what I'm going to do it.
Nicholson from The Shining.
That's not a bad idea. I have an idea. I'll take a picture and I'll post it later tonight in the community. And it will not be flattering to myself, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Love it.
That's the sort of.
What happened? Something happened?
No, nothing happened. I want to do it. I forgot that I had this get up and I can put it together and it will look utterly ridiculous, and I'm gonna do it. I think I still have the hat too somewhere. It's gonna happen. Is it just too much to ask that the Rams find somebody that can run the ball 3 yards a carry? Is that just impossible?
Apparently, yes.
Can't do that.
Yeah, that's actually disrespectful that you even ask a question like that.
What about the Raiders scoring a point?
The Raiders, look, I get it. The Raiders are having a terrible season. I'm done saying that they're going to get things figured out. What are they, 2-5 at this point?
2-5.
They're lousy, and they've put themselves in an impossible position. But the Rams should have been able to find a way to get their leading rusher through 7 games of the season. Darrell Henderson has fewer yards on the season than Derrick Henry had yesterday. Okay, and look, I get it. Derrick Henry's, one of the best backs that we've seen.
Yeah, but it's 7 games.
7 games to 1. And by the way, there's no way on earth that Cam Akers can come back to this team, right? Think about that. They sent him home because he was a detriment to the team. They want to find a way to work it out and make a trade. And now there is no trade to be made to this point, and you're just going to bring him back and give him the ball? That can't happen. Have we ever said that's like? Did they ever bring Luol Deng back? When they said like this doesn't work out, we'll pay you. Just kind of
What's
nice
his?
try, but
does he have any value right now in the league?
Obviously not.
Nothing.
I mean, obviously not, or he'd be gone, right?
So maybe you can convince him, for his own sake, to continue his career in the NFL and to have value, that it's as important for him to come out and show something than it is for the Rams to make it incredibly awkward and say, we don't need you anymore. We now need you a little bit.
Just one? Just one guy that can get it done? It doesn't seem like asking too much. All right. 0-5 was about as bad of a start as you could imagine.
It was the worst start in the NBA.
It was the worst start in the NBA, but because this team, for instance, let's flip it. If they'd gotten off to a 5-0 start, you'd be saying, listen, they're not this good, but they put some money in the bank, right? That now when you do have 2-game losing streak, a 3-game losing streak, or you lose 4 out of 6,
you're still in the mix.
You're still in the mix. You haven't torpedoed your season, and I don't want to throw cold water on their first win of the season. They shot the ball really well. They play hard every night. I really like that about that team. But 0-5, you've borrowed, like you already owe the credit card company money. Mm-hmm. And now every time you need to go buy something else, you get deeper and deeper into debt. They don't have any equity right now. And if they have another 4 out of 5, 4 out of 6, you're just not digging out of that hole. They're not good enough to dig out of the hole. They got to go start winning 2 out of 3 for the next month to dig their way out of this hole.
So let me just give you their next few games, okay? The Pelicans played the Clippers yesterday.
Yeah.
Pelicans don't have Brandon Ingram right now. He's in concussion protocol. Ingram is, if not their best player, one of their best players. Pelicans won by 21 points against the Clippers. All right? This is on a Sunday afternoon that most NBA players who are staying Saturday night in Los Angeles probably not ready for a Sunday afternoon game.
Mm-hmm.
They blew out the Clippers. They're 4-2 on the season. That's the next game that the Lakers have. All right? So I'm just pointing out that that's not an easy game. I actually heard Russ, who was on with MT and John right after the game, and they said, hey, what do you guys got to do? You got the Pelicans come up. He said, we owe them one. And I was like, what do you mean we owe them one?
I was there.
He said we owe them one, and he kept talking about last season where I'm sure the Pelicans were running their mouth like no tomorrow. They were basically eliminating the Lakers from the playoffs, and he said we owe them one. Okay, that's a tough game. I'm not telling you that the Utah Jazz are a 5-2 team, but they're 5-2.
Right.
They've done something right.
Yeah.
You know,
they're better than anybody thought they were going to be.
100%.
Yeah.
And you got some guys, playing some good ball. Cleveland is legit in the Eastern Conference.
They're good.
They're a good team. They had a game on, I want to say it was Friday night, where they won in overtime at Boston. Karis LeVert and Donovan Mitchell each had 41. They had 82 points combined between those two guys. So you have 3 home games left here before you'll go on the road a little bit. You have a 4-game home, play 4 straight games at home.
Yep.
So to add to what you just said about by going 1-5, this is what you did to yourself. You start giving yourself less margin for error every single game. Now, can the Lakers build off of yesterday? We're going to find out. What I'm just trying to make a case is these next 3 games, there's no game on the Lakers schedule you're going to look at and say, the Lakers got that one.
Not in the next 3, but you look a little bit beyond that. You're right about that. But so you get Utah on the road on the 7th.
Yeah.
And you got the Clippers on the road, here at Chris.
I don't know what the hell the Clippers are. I literally have no idea.
Neither do they.
I have no idea what they are.
They'll figure it out. I think they're a pretty good team. But after Sacramento, Brooklyn, Detroit, San Antonio 3 times in a week. Okay?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got
San
the 2 on the road.
Terrible. Brooklyn is terrible. Detroit is
ready
okay.
for the Spurs?
Sacramento's not good.
Ready for the Spurs? 5-2.
I know. But
I don't understand these.
They're not good. I understand what you're saying, but that's the back half of November is where they can actually start to pay down some of that debt.
But you know when
that's
you say,
the spot.
But you know when you say they're not good, there's also no. It's really tough for me to sit here and tell you that the Lakers are going to walk into a game unless they start showing you something over a 30-day period where you start saying, hey, that's a W, no question about it.
Is there a team in the league that's a no-question W against them? I don't think that they're
no, because you're 1-5.
Right.
I mean, just be honest with you, no, because you're 1-5.
They did, I think, find something. And I am as shocked as anybody else, pleasantly surprised, but no less surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook with that second group, there's a little
very
something
nice
there.
off the bench.
There's a little bit of something. I didn't think he'd do it, and I thought that if he did go to do it, he would do it reluctantly, begrudgingly, and it would show. He hasn't. Credit where credit is due. Russ did the thing I didn't think he was capable of doing, where he's still playing like Russell Westbrook, but at least he's playing with the right guys that can help him do that a little bit. This feels, if they can get somebody to make some shots on a quasi-consistent basis. I don't need somebody to turn into, Damian Lillard or something like that, or Clay or Steph or anything. Just somebody that can make 35, 38% of their threes. They can win some games. But if they don't find somebody to shoot, there's going to be more 5-game losing streaks.
Miles Turner's 35% career from 3, 38% this year, but just put that to the side.
If I'm the Lakers, I take a very hard look at this with the position that you're in. I know what I can provide for a team. My leadership, my shot blocking, my 3-point ability, and just my ability to make plays out there on the floor. And I take a very long look at it. But as far as pulling the trigger, that's I get paid to shoot. Now, I'm not meant to make these calls, so I couldn't answer that.
You mentioned we're in the middle of elections right now. So you have people that put the signs out in the front yard. Miles Turner just put one at the Lakers training facility. Just put one out there. Said Miles Turner for L.A.
It's remarkable how similar the Rams and Lakers are all of a sudden. They both won a championship, and it both turned really quickly after that, and now you're in a weird spot. Like, do you chase the thing that just worked a second ago? Lakers a little bit more in the rearview mirror, but not a ton.
Yeah.
Right?
2 years ago.
Do you keep trying to chase that and say, okay, the nucleus of this works, and we're willing to borrow more against the credit card to see what we can turn it into? Rams are in the same spot right now. Trade deadline's coming up tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock West Coast time. They are typically very active at that deadline, and I don't think they should do it. Just like I know that Miles Turner makes the Lakers a better team. They do. But how much better? Do you go from a 1-5 team to a 2-4 team, a 3-3 team? Maybe something like that. But what is a 3-3 team? It's you're floating around 7, 8, 9, 10 again.
So what gives me a little hope on the Lakers is can they build off of what they did yesterday? Russ is coming off the bench, and for the first time, I'm not kidding, for the first time in the entire tenure that he's been a Laker, he looks like he has a role and he's comfortable in that role. Let's see another 10 games, whatever the case is. But the only other thing from an NBA perspective, the NBA is a little, let's see what happens with some of these teams. I mentioned some of the other teams that are struggling right now. Maybe that changes in 10 games, 20 games. But there's no team really, at least in the Western Conference, that you're saying, I mean, go look at the standings, and we shouldn't base it off that this early. Your regular teams are not sitting there. The teams that you think, like, hey, these are the best. Actually, you could say that the Phoenix Suns, they're 5-1. They're taking off from what they were doing last year.
Yeah, they look about right. It's so early.
I know it is.
It's 5 games. It's 6. Like, the NFL season feels like we're getting near the end. Not even halfway through it.
Yep.
We're still got as much to go as we have in the rearview mirror. That's why the Rams can at least, tell themselves, hey, if we can figure some things out. And I have an update on Cooper Kupp. They're just a little bit of an update on the Cooper Kupp injury. It's good, but not great. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. If you've been hurt in an accident, you need to know that the phone
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Ladies right now.
Who's this make you think of?
Need more
Emily's
cowbell.
got it. Yeah, there you go.
Need more cowbell.
Yeah.
That's all it makes me think of.
And Jimmy Fallon ruining it. Those are the two things. Yeah, where he just starts laughing hysterically in the middle of the sketch. Yeah. Here you got Christopher Walken and Will Ferrell like doing work, and then he's
He didn't ruin it. He didn't ruin it.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yeah, go watch it again.
I've seen it 330 times.
You'll never be able to see it again.
It's more cowbell.
Without him laughing in the background. All right, Emily, I got a question for you.
Okay.
This comes from Joel McWaters, and it says, this is a late-ass Slee. It says, does Slee demand a candy checking fee, the dad tax, or both? Do you know what the dad tax is?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Emily, did your dad tax you on certain things?
It's just like, if I got candy, then he would ask for a bite of the candy or something like that. So when we were driving, it's like I would, if we're on a long road trip, I
But if
break
it's a
open
fun
a candy.
size, I mean, what are you going to do here?
I break open some like goldfish, whatever. He'll put his hand behind his back, ask for some, and then I'll share some with him. But
Close. So I tax my kids all the time, right? And it's little things like if we go to the Dodger game, right? And hey, let's go get a nachos or a peanuts, and it's for them, but I'm gonna tax that. I bought it, so I'm gonna take my tax on these things. If I
What
make them a
percentage of tax you usually?
Depending on what sort of mood I'm in. Usually I'm pretty low. It's
5
like a
to
bite.
10%?
That's like a bite.
Okay.
Just one bite along the way.
Yeah.
It's one of the great
some
pleasures in
fries,
life.
yeah.
Just okay.
State
you
of
wanna go to
California,
In-N-Out?
it's 40% tax.
Dad tax. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take my 6 French fries out of your box and put it in mine, and that's the dad tax. It's one of the great parents, one of the great joys of being a parent.
You have a bowl filled with Halloween candy.
Okay.
Whoppers are in there. Are you eating them?
Oh, I like Whoppers.
I don't like Whoppers.
Yeah,
You guys Whoppers
I like
fans?
Whoppers.
I'm not going
they're
out of my
there,
way.
I'm gonna eat them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way.
That's the best. I'll eat them. I'm not picking them first.
Milk duds.
Stuck in my teeth.
Okay, ready again?
I don't want them.
Fresh Milk Duds, pretty good.
Fresh.
It's so funny
What
you
is
say
fresh?
that.
I don't know, but
Like hot off the,
once in 10 boxes of those Milk Duds, they're soft and they're chewy and they don't pull the fillings out of your head. Most of them of the time, it's basically dental glue.
Yeah.
But you get fresh Butterfinger, fresh Milk Duds. It's a big difference.
Milky Way. You doing
Like
a Milky
nice?
Way?
Oh yeah, love Milky Ways.
Not a Milky Way guy.
Yeah, because you get a little bit, get a little chocolate, get a little caramel, get a little nougat. You get all 3 things. It's a nice little treat.
So this is where you guys go. You guys are grabbing you want the gummies, the Skittles, the Laffy Taffies. You like all that stuff?
No Laffy Taffy.
No, Laffy Taffy's gross. I'm with you on that. Skittles are
I
okay.
think I go chocolate over the
Yeah, I don't need that stuff. I could.
Twizzlers. I like.
Twizzlers are pretty good. Red Vine's over Twizzlers, obviously.
Twizzlers definitely over Red
Really?
Vines. Yeah.
They're so waxy.
Yeah, I'm eating plastic. I'm eating flavored plastic. I know that.
Not
I
that Red
understand
Vines
that.
are made from natural materials, but they do feel oddly less synthetic. Am I wrong?
That's funny. Red Vines are organic. Every time I have, and I'll have Twizzlers, I'll have any of those like licorice. I like them. I'm a big fan.
Me
of
too.
them. But it is flavored plastic.
Twizzlers are. It's just plastic. The
Yeah,
Red Vine has like some sugar.
I don't know what it is, but I like them.
Okay, I didn't hear about Red Vines until I moved here.
Really?
I had never heard of. It was just Twizzlers. I had never seen Red Vines. I had never heard of Red Vines until I moved out here.
Kept it a
And
secret.
have you had them since?
I don't like either. I don't like.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
out
like
on both?
licorice in general.
Red or black or any of the above?
None of the above.
Black licorice is.
I'm looking at. There's so many lists here. Heath.
Oh, tremendous.
How funny is that? I haven't said Heath.
Heath. What about a Skor? SKOR.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Hey, guys, we're going to call it Skor, only we're going to spell it with a K and leave off the
Nestle
E.
Crunch I could do without. I don't really care.
I don't need that.
Have you had a
Yeah,
whatchamacallit?
Oh, yeah. Those are harder
good.
to find.
Yeah, I like those.
Those are pretty good.
Take 5.
Mr. Good Bar. That's a fantastic.
That's just chocolate and peanuts. It's good. I'm not mad at it, but it's not. What is the one you said? Take 5. What's that?
It's a Reese's Take 5. I'm looking up the ingredients currently, but it's
Got a nougat in it, I think.
It's marshmallow, peanut butter, white chocolate, chocolate cookie. I think.
Oh,
is what it
white
says.
chocolate is a non-starter. For
I
a guy.
like white chocolate.
Thrillist. I'm with you. I'm not.
You know what's not in white
guy.
chocolate? Like literally by definition, chocolate.
Yep.
It's just the butter that's in the chocolate. It's not.
What's wrong with butter?
Nothing, but let's eat butter, not like chocolate that's been transformed into this substance that you can write on the chalkboard with.
Thrillist did their ranking of best Halloween candy. Just What do you guys assume? And I don't know how they did it here.
Reese's
what do you
is
guys
at top.
assume was number one?
Okay.
Reese's.
Is it like just most popular? I need the metrics. Most bought, most purchased.
I'm assuming that popularity. It's got to be something.
It's got to
like that.
be a Reese's cup or a Snicker.
Okay. What do you think?
I was gonna say Reese's. Maybe like something like Smarties.
Ugh.
I think you just throw in a
Smarties
bag.
definitely nowhere
Nowhere
near
on the
that.
list?
No. What
I
do you think?
I agree. Reese's is probably that because I think almost everybody has no bad takes on Reese's.
Reese's dominates.
Yeah.
Reese's peanut butter cups 1, Twix 2, which is a little surprising.
Which Twix is the best.
A little surprising, left or the right. And Snickers 3.
Why do you guys like Twix so much?
Kit Kat and Butterfinger.
Because it has the
perfect.
cookie?
It's the cookie. It's a cookie, caramel,
Never
and,
liked it.
and
I would never pick that as like my
No.
top choice, but I'm also not against Twix.
Yeah, that's the one I'd leave in the bin. Like I'd just sit there I wouldn't eat it. I don't
How do
need
you
it.
say the word? So there's chocolate, cookie, and what other thing? How do you say that? other word?
Caramel.
Okay. I say caramel. That's
Yeah.
like a
Caramel.
southern thing. I don't know.
But isn't there 2 A's?
I don't know.
I think
I don't know how to
they're
spell.
yeah. I think caramel would be 1 A. Caramel has 2.
Carmel is like the
Carmel's
place
the
in,
city
in
up
Ohio.
by San Francisco along the way.
Twizzler's 18th, Taylor. It's just
Twizzler. Bleh.
18th on the list.
No
Red
Smarties,
Vines didn't
though.
even make it. Smarties nowhere. They're
Cooper
nowhere.
Kupp is day to day with an ankle sprain, which means he's hurt. Right? That he'll play on Sunday, I would imagine, against
what
the Bucs.
version of?
But dude, can you imagine with this team? Just close your eyes and think about what this Ram squad would look like if Cooper Kupp were either 50% of what he's given you or unavailable completely.
You ready for the most uninteresting conversation that you're going to tune out of within 3 seconds?
Go.
Can you imagine what my fantasy team would look like without Cooper Kupp? Because that's
Do you
that's
have Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, I took him. I had the second overall.
You're in a
pick
fantasy league?
here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right?
I think I'm 5-2.
That's pretty good.
I'll take 5-2.
Who's your quarterback?
Not good. Not good.
Who is it?
Take some guesses
Wilson.
of no. Take some guesses. Take some guesses. Do me a favor.
Rodgers.
Take some guesses. Not Rodgers either. Guys that you're not crazy about, and it's not Russell Wilson.
Goff?
It's not Goff. No.
Not crazy about it in like I don't like them as human beings, or I think they stink at quarterback.
I think more you think they stink at quarterback.
Jimmy G.
No. You don't have to think too hard here. Stay in the division.
Oh, Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say it. I was going to say
Could've
right
benched
out.
him this week. Call of Duty came out.
I was going to say right out the gate. I thought that.
Did you guys see that there was a meme going around yesterday when they lost to Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray 0-1 since the new Call of Duty came out. And somebody was just hovering over the button. It's official. 000 send.
They had
Imagine
that.
that
They
being
had
your
that set
reputation.
4 weeks ago.
Imagine that being your reputation. That you're the guy that can't do your job where they pay you tens of millions of dollars a year because the new that's your reputation. My reputation is I overeat. My reputation is I love the Dodgers. My reputation is I don't exercise nearly enough. His reputation is, yeah, they pay him $30 million a year, but he won't do the
Isn't
homework
that their
because video
fault?
games
Isn't that
came
their
out.
fault for paying him
course
$30
it
million a year?
And for putting the clause in the contract.
And
Yeah.
releasing it.
And
making
releasing it.
available.
All of the above.
What a mess.
Like if they just would have said, hey, listen, come on in here real quick. Sit down. Okay, listen. We're going to give you the money. Okay, we're going to pay
Here's
you
some
the rate.
candy.
We're going to pay you the rate. It's like $35 million a year. Congratulations. We're very happy to have you here in Arizona. However, dude, I'm not going to write it down because it would be embarrassing for you. But is there a way that maybe you could put down the Xbox for just like an hour a day? Just maybe, we're giving you $35 million. Do you think maybe you could do a little extra, like when you leave the building?
No. The answer is no to that.
What? No, I get the money no matter what, though, right? What a weird,
The answer is no to
weird
that.
deal along the way. Let's go to KC in Tahunga. KC, you're on with Travis Slee. What's up?
How you guys doing?
What's going on, Casey?
Hey, I just want to tell you, you guys were talking about the candies. I'm going to tell you the 3 best ones. It's the Snicker bar, Reese's Peanut Cup, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and the Hershey's.
Just the regular Hershey?
Oh, no, with almonds.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And one last thing now.
Casey, can I ask you a question? You can say none of your business, and I'll live with it. How old are you, Casey?
I am 65. I just got Social Security today, man.
Yeah, because the Hershey's with almonds, that makes the York peppermint patty seem like a I don't know, what's a modern candy. My grandmother, R.I.P.
Hey, I've never had one of those.
Don't get me wrong.
I need to ask you something. Hey, wait a minute. I need to ask you guys one question, and I'll let you go. How does Kansas City fly all the way to San Francisco? They whip their butts, and then San Francisco come down here to L.A., and they kick our butts.
Here, I'm going to go deep inside football on you, Casey. Thank you for the phone call. The Chiefs are a lot better than the Rams. That's how. The Chiefs are a lot better than the Rams.
And the Niners own the Rams.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
8 in a row? Is that a lot? Like 8 in a row. You would think just the probability.
Can I tell you something? Every
one.
time I hear the 8 in a row, I get it. I get the whole domination. They did get, even Kittle said this yesterday. Kittle said, like, they got the only one that really mattered.
Yes, they did.
So.
But it's not just a so. They got the most important one. They won the Super Bowl. That's great. It's not the 8 in a row. It's what the 8 in a row represents to me that's troublesome. It's that they can't solve that puzzle. Sean McVay, when he got a second look at Bill Belichick, he had it figured out. When he got a second look at everybody, he gets figured out pretty quick. Pete Carroll's a great coach. Pete Carroll's a great coach. Sean McVay beats Pete Carroll. He can't figure out Kyle Shanahan. That's the problem. Say that again, Emily.
He said rent-free.
For sure. And look, if the Rams get in, big if, probably gonna have to run into them at one point or another again. They're gonna if they played in the playoffs tomorrow, Al, would you expect it to be any different at all?
No, would it? And at this point, it would be up in San Francisco, so they'll have 15% more fans than they have here.
I'm done fighting that fight. It is what it is. Thank goodness Buffalo and Dallas are blue and white, because if they were orange or red or green.
That's a smart fight to concede, because there's no. When I saw Christian McCaffrey score the touchdown, this is the throw, corner of the end zone, perfect, gets both feet down, and the knee, does his spike, whatever he does. They pan around the stadium. I'm like, are those red seats, or is it just literally all red? It was all red.
I walk from SoFi to Hollywood Park Casino to do the postgame show, and it's about a 15-minute walk. And so I leave.
They're like, go home. Yeah, wait, no, I am home.
I usually leave after the opening drive of the fourth quarter to make my walk over there. And when I get, that's incredible. And when I get far enough down the road to where I'm close to Hollywood Park, it's a good, I don't know, quarter of a mile away.
Yeah.
You can hear this roar come from SoFi Stadium. I'm like, something good happened for the Niners. There was never a question that roar might have been a Rams roar. Not one single time. The Dump coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. AutoZone has the free services you need to help you get back on the road, like their free AutoZone Fix Finder service. The AutoZone Fix Finder service not only identifies the check engine light code, but also helps identify the most likely cause of the check engine light being on. The information provided by the free AutoZone Fix Finder service is verified by data from over 5.5 million ASE certified techs. And with over 5,600 locations nationwide, AutoZone is here to help you save time and money with their free services. Getting the job done just got easier. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking. $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Yes, it's time for the dump.
How about this, Slee? 86,215 fans were in the building yesterday for the Jags and Broncos in London. It's the NFL's largest crowd ever for a game in the UK. 86,000 people decided to go watch the Jacksonville Jaguars play football on purpose.
That is so cool. What a waste of money. Talk about fooling. Just completely fooling your audience.
What's the brand, right? Well, so Jacksonville came. They've actually been to LA 2 years in a row. What were you saying the prices were when they played the Chargers? Like $15 or something crazy like that?
Yes, it was. I think even lower. I think it was like $12 to get in. That's when we kept saying, hey, just go see SoFi.
Go see SoFi,
yeah,
for sure. So they came to play the Rams at the beginning of December last year. I have gone to every Rams home game since they've returned to Los Angeles. Yep. Some have been much better. Not every game can be Chiefs-Rams 51-49 or whatever. 54-51, I think is what it was. They all can't be that, I understand. But when Jacksonville is coming into the building, I don't know if there's anything that's less exciting than a Jacksonville Jaguars football game.
This is the equivalent of the Premier League sending us Southampton and Nottingham Forest, and like, hey, throw that in the Rose Bowl.
Is there a Nottingham Forest
There is
team?
a Nottingham Forest. I just looked at this Premier League stadiums.
How do they have a player named Little John and Robin Hood?
Yes.
I mean, are they part of it as well?
Well, here's the difference is if they sent those teams, nobody would go here. The fact that they got, what did you say, 86,000, that's amazing.
They're going to have teams over there before it's all said and done. They'll put two in together. That's always seemed to be the idea, that you'd need to do two so you weren't having to fly back and forth.
Not expand, take teams out of current cities?
No, probably expand. Probably expand along the way, because if you
Where
just
do you
had
think the Chargers going? I'm not kidding.
Chargers aren't going anywhere. They're like the fourth most valuable franchise in the league because they're here.
I mean, value? No, I don't think you have that much value if you don't actually own your stadium.
The value,
they don't own the stadium. They don't
why
own
are
the
they
stadium
here?
Because the value here is definitely more than it is in San Diego.
No, they don't have the same value like that the Rams do, or that the Cowboys or the Giants or the Patriots or those teams. But they're in the top 10. I'm almost positively because of the market size.
So I saw something on this, and just to answer your questions, because they don't have any fans. That's why. So that if you are somewhere where you actually do have fans and you own your own stadium, you're going to have more value that way.
I'm not throwing shade at the Rams. Do the Rams? You know what I mean? I know they have fans, but
they have history
they deal with
here.
The same thing.
They have history here. They do have a fan base, and they own their stadium. They own all that land.
I'm trying to look this up
Chargers
as we
just
go.
give. Here's $1.
Nick Saban turns 71 years old today. Greatest college football coach of all time?
I mean, in my era, my generation, I don't know of anyone who would compete with that, but I'm just paying attention to my era. Somebody can look and say, you know, whatever the history is. But every year since I've been paying any attention to college football, there's never a conversation other than Alabama and Nick Saban.
So you get a Joe Paterno, you get a Bobby Bowden thrown in there, names like that, guys that just stacked up a bunch of wins. And Bobby Bowden was probably the right answer until the end of his career, where they were not particularly strong towards the end. But Saban's never had a bad team. Like, you go, even when he's at Michigan State, they were pretty good. He goes to LSU, he wins a national championship. He goes to Alabama, and they've either won the national championship or been close to it.
Dolphins?
Every single year. The
Dolphins?
What was he there, 5 minutes?
Yeah, pretty much.
And college football.
6 national championships, 8 SEC championships.
And how many times has he been in the championship game?
I know.
Probably 8 more times along the way as well. Drew Barrymore, speaking of Halloween, she thought that E.T. was real when she was a kid, that was not a piece of rubber and plastic that was moving around, but rather they'd captured an alien and were making a movie with him.
Trying to think if there were, at what age did you start, okay, hey, guys, Santa's not real. Hey, guys, the Tooth Fairy.
Whoa,
yeah, that's not.
Come on, man.
Tooth Fairy's not real.
Come on.
Tooth Fairy, okay, fine, but dude, you just didn't Santa the audience, did you? Sorry, kids.
Spoiler alert. We won't talk about.
Well, we know the Grinch is real.
Yeah.
We won't talk about Better Call Saul and what happened. But I just.
Better Call Saul is for adults.
I just made it happen on Santa.
There's an 8-year-old somewhere that's like, what?
I'm getting blocked left and
now
right.
some dad's like, don't listen to Sliwa.
And it's on YouTube as well.
My God. What a disappointing performance that was by you.
We
right
lost,
there.
guys.
Rob
He's
Manfred.
berating you right now.
He's not real. I know, guys.
Unbelievable.
I hate to break it to everybody.
I know. I don't even want to say it.
There goes our audience.
You can only make it worse from this point. You should eject. We should talk about Rob Manfred saying that the A's are likely headed to Las Vegas. Good. Let's move it along.
He just said that?
Let's move it along. He said that that over the weekend that they are likely headed to Las Vegas. Coach McVay walking into the building right now.
Coach McVay.
I see the play card.
No, not really.
I have lots of questions that I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
So get in character as soon as you can. John, you look like you are dressed as a guy that's just come off
ready
the
to
golf
go.
course.
Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly what I'm coming as. No, I'm with you guys. I didn't even Bergman texted me at 8 this morning. He said, "Hey, we're all wearing costumes." I'm like, 8 this morning? I go, you got it. I'm booked for the next 4 weeks. I go, I don't have time to do anything.
Well,
like
you're
that.
executing the country club member just freshly out of the shower look very well.
But let me just throw this out there. Slee, what time is it?
12:54.
Middle of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you really just say about Santa Claus what you just
I did.
said?
Yeah, he did.
What is
I did.
wrong
It's
with you?
shocking to me.
Yeah.
And by the way, tried to justify it with a Better Call Saul comparison.
No, it
you're
wasn't.
right.
It wasn't.
Better Call
Because
Saul.
that's warm and fuzzy.
It wasn't justifying. It was doubling down and
Good.
just
Double down
trying
on
to
that
find
one.
a way.
Yeah.
That's one. The only answer was, I'm just kidding and keep it moving and hope that nobody
No, but he's
heard
not
it.
real. If you're listening out
What
there,
are you doing? Stop!
it's not freaking
Stop!
What, no, the next thing you're going to say the Easter Bunny isn't real? What the hell?
He lays chocolate eggs.
real. Not cool.
He
Yeah,
lays-
not cool.
I know.
Not cool on my part.
That's honestly, that's offensive.
It's really kind of taking the fun out
Yeah,
of some
moms,
stuff.
dads.
My gosh.
Ignore the
my
radio.
mom-
Disney
To her
HR
credit,
just calls
when
me.
when I discovered what Sliwa is selling later in life, my mom and my mom with it. My mom goes, "Well, you believe what you want to believe. I believe in them."
Yep.
And then she walked away.
Hey, there you go. And Lil, if you don't believe, then you don't get the presents.
There you go.
You got to believe to get the
She would
brown
It's
paper
Drew
wrapper.
Barrymore's fault.
It's Drew
That's
Barry's
his fault. It is.
Let's do a little Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begin.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
I was wondering if you were going to do it in McVay-ese. Well, we're very disappointed with
Well, I
what's
need to do
happened
a
so
better
far.
job of putting our guys in position. That's on me.
Yes, a good
Matthew
one.
wasn't in good position for that. It's. I need to do a better job. Our coaching staff needs to do a better job of communicating our expectations.
You need to use the word activate a lot.
Oh, activate.
Coach Shanahan did a great job of activating Christian McCaffrey.
Activating him, yeah.
He was activated
Oh,
yesterday.
he was fully activated.
That's
yeah.
pretty good, Mace.
Yeah,
You got to
that's
put
not
together.
bad.
You need khakis. Like the sweatpants are kind of throwing me
I
off.
even did the Sean McVay.
The ring?
The ring.
The black wedding
Black
ring.
wedding ring. And first time and last time I will ever wear one of these.
Why no khakis?
Because he wore sweats yesterday.
Oh, did he wear
Yeah,
sweats?
he wore sweats yesterday.
But they're usually khaki colored, no?
No, they were
Did I get
gray
that wrong?
yesterday. They were gray. We were literally during the game. We're looking down at the sidelines, and Juan's like, "Okay, I got an idea. We'll dress you up as Sean McVay." And I'm like, "Stop it! I'm watching a game right now. I don't."
Is that the
need
first
this
half
right
or
now."
second half when this conversation is going on?
There was I was going to say, there was a
Makes
guy
more
at the
sense.
game yesterday dressed as Sean McVay. He had the beard.
Physically
so
looked
a
like
lot
him,
like
yeah.
him. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to get a little Jumbotron time yesterday.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Somebody came by the Stat Hero broadcast booth and was saying that you were lobbying to get on, and
I
that there was a chance to do it.
I was talking to Demoff last week, and Demoff was like, "Yeah, but how's your ego going to be if nobody recognizes you?"
And then that's when I realized Demoff doesn't really know Mason. Mason doesn't care what the reaction is. He just wants to be on the screen. You know, the reaction is totally irrelevant.
Oh no, I don't want to get booed like Kim Kardashian.
She got booed.
Dr. Dre got a big ovation.
He gets one
yesterday.
every time.
Yeah.
The only two people that have gotten like aggressively booed, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
By the way,
and Paul George.
Paul George.
Those
yeah.
are the only two.
Why on Kim Kardashian?
Because that's what people do.
Yeah, because
right. That she's not the most warm
was that
and
the
fuzzy
I
person
forget
in the
what
world.
game that was.
It was earlier this season.
Earlier was it the Buffalo
like
game?
Cowboys
I can
maybe?
see
Yeah.
people booing Kanye. Maybe that's guilt by association.
Yeah. Well, it felt Kim specific.
I mean, she dumped the guy, and then he spiraled out of control into like the world's biggest jerk. But
It's not working out great.
Yeah,
I think the popularity, just she has so much popularity. I think it just.
And Paul George.
That one doesn't surprise me. And Paul George.
Totally understand.
Well, any Clipper that gets put on any Jumbotron anywhere gets booed.
Yep.
I told you at the Charger game, right? That they
doesn't
put him
at the Charger game.
Listen, Mace. They put him on there, and this was without an announcement, and then everybody just starts booing, and then probably about 10 minutes later, Paul George from the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm like, guys,
they already made you.
He got booed before the announcement. Now you're going to announce him?
He was pre-booed.
Maybe they thought he was somebody else. No, run it back. Put him up there
Let's
again.
try it again.
All right, we were talking a lot of Halloween candy today.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I'm a Reese's guy. I love Reese's peanut butter cups. I go for them all the time. I order them sometimes from Postmates to be delivered.
Seems aggressive.
I say Reese's peanut butter cups.
Have you shared the password yet with him, or you still?
No.
Oh, your DoorDash password?
His Grubhub password.
Grubhub, that's it.
Since I changed, he'll figure it out eventually.
By the way,
wow, man.
Because no one is coming to your house. That's why you.
Do you not
have
get
all
any
these.
traffic, Mace?
Get no traffic. Now, I don't know if it's because we're on a side street or because we roll down our blinds and turn down our lights.
That
I'm
may
not
have
sure
something
which
to do with
reason.
So you don't want to give out candy?
No, we are literally on a side street. Nobody would approach our house. There's a big Halloween scene. Like, I got friggin' haunted houses and gigantic spiders and cotton all over the bushes and all that crap. But they don't come down our side streets, so we don't put out candy.
Slee was talking about he wants to hide in the bushes at my house and scare the kids that come by.
I think more the parents and the kids.
Well, they're usually together.
I went to Six Flags on Friday.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so I haven't been there.
You went to Magic Mountain?
Went to Magic Mountain.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Yeah, but this is very personal for him. I get it.
Magic Mountain.
Went to Magic Mountain. And a lot of this is obviously Halloween themed. So they had, I think, 6 different haunted houses that you can go into. And I was telling Trav, I'm like, I like that. Like, I like getting scared. If I can get scared, and some people, for some reason, are terrified by it, but they could go on Tatsu, a roller coaster that faces downward and everything else. So I'm telling him, if they would have told me, hey, we need you for a couple of days, can you just work a Friday and a Saturday night for us and just scare people? I'd be in.
Really?
I really would.
That would be a gig for you.
I think it would actually be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh, yeah, that'd be a joy. That'd be nice.
You don't look like you enjoy that.
Putting fear into everybody, Slee.
That's
John,
all I'm
are
asking for.
you dressing up when you answer the door at your place?
You know,
tonight?
I wasn't gonna, but I didn't remember. I have like a multitude of outfits at home. I've got the bunny suit from the bet I lost.
Right.
I've got the Master's caddy outfit from the bet I lost.
Right.
I have the pineapple rompum, which would just scare people.
Losing bets.
You get phone calls for that.
Yeah, but I think I may throw the bunny suit on for an hour and make kids do tricks.
I forgot. I have something at home that I'm going to put on for tonight, and I'll take some. It is so terribly unflattering.
Really?
But I'm gonna lean into it. I hope I still have. Should I just tell you what it is?
It's the Britney Spears thing.
It's not a Britney
it's
Spears
Britney
thing.
Spears.
I have a Tom Candiotti jersey that, right, go figure. And I have a pair of white baseball pants that fit me when I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do not fit nearly as well.
So you're
going to
go as a knuckleballer?
I'm going to go as knuckleballer Tom Candiotti.
Do you have a Dodger hat?
But I have an Oakland A's hat because it's an A's jersey.
Oh, okay.
It's when Candiotti was with the A's.
Yep.
But I only have the one pair of baseball pants, and it looks like you've
get one leg in.
10 pounds of blank and a 5-pound sack.
You know what you know what you could do, Trav? You could borrow some of Jorge's Niner gear and go as a fan who was at SoFi Stadium yesterday.
Gosh. But Mace, I put it at 80. Do you think that's what it was?
Oh, I don't care. It's 95. It's 99. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
But what do you think it was? Just out of curiosity.
80.
Yeah.
75, 80.
The fact that Mace won't even admit there were more Niner fans
No,
than
there were
Rat
90.
fans is a
As
shame.
far as I'm concerned, 99%. It makes no difference. All I care about is the final freaking score. And it did not go our way. And you know what? The beauty of going to a game in Los Angeles in SoFi Stadium, and we're going to be sitting here in 20 years and saying the exact same thing. A lot of fans from the other team come. It's LA.
It's a destination.
It's a
Well, it's the
transport
price you
town.
pay for 22 years of not having a team.
That's it more than anything. That's it more than anything. Did you at any point yesterday? I'll ask both of you guys this.
Halftime. I think we were in it.
No, did you, not that you're in it, because you're obviously in it at 14-10.
Yeah.
Did you ever think they were going to win?
No.
Neither did I.
No,
and that's the answer, right? That there's just some matchups where I know we might have the lead, but there's way too much game to go before we're going to.
I thought after the 16-minute drive where Stafford scored,
where it took him 9 times to get into the end zone or whatever it was.
I said, so they're going to control the clock and keep it out
did
of
in the first half.
Garoppolo's hands.
Oh yeah, old Ronnie Rivers. Look out.
That lasted a half.
Look out, Ronnie Rivers.
Ronnie Rivers had his opportunity yesterday. Did not necessarily.
Let's try that screen tight end again. Tight end screen.
Turn it the other way. You need to have the printed side facing out.
The printed side facing out?
Yeah, because with that looks better.
I don't have no idea what this is. We found this in the garage. I have no idea what it is. It's like it's the weirdest stuff on there, right?
The first thing I see when I look at this,
it looks like a play sheet.
It does look like a play sheet, but there are the first thing in bold writing right here.
Yep.
Amputee adjustment.
I have no idea why this is in our garage.
That's what it says. Malnutrition severity. What's going on in your house?
Clearly, that's not going on in my house. Malnutrition has never been a problem.
Fluid accumulation. There's a lot of chronic illness.
Yeah, I have no idea where this thing came from. Somebody was apparently very sick.
Yeah, this is kind of bumming me out, Mace.
Yeah.
This is worse than the actual play calls. That
Ronnie Rivers.
yesterday.
I don't know about that.
Ronnie Rivers fall down at the line.
Thank goodness for the Lakers last night. I was in like a shame spiral.
Yeah.
Dodgers, Rams can't beat them. I need something to go right. At least the Lakers got it
USC
done.
game was weird. They gave up like 38 points.
Oh, well,
37.
idiotic. The officials are the stupidest people on the planet. Did you see the end of the first half of the USC?
Hit me with it.
I've never seen this. So I've seen some bad officiating. I've never seen.
So they drive all the way down they make a long pass, and so you've got that they've got 5 seconds left, and they run to the line to run a play. The official is still standing over the ball,
and the clock should not start until
the clock started
because they just got a first down.
So they ran out of all time, despite the fact that they never got to run a play because the official never stepped out from between the lines. It was ridiculous.
College football officiating, generally speaking, is atrocious, but the Pac-12 guys take it to a whole nother level.
The Pac-12 guys were awful all night.
They always are. They are the worst of the bunch. That's why when you see them in the national championship game, buckle up, something stupid's going to happen.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
Well, it's I was thinking about when USC and UCLA leave. Do you really need a Pac-12?
I think you'll see it. I think you'll have it for like the Olympic sports, but you're certainly not going to have it in football, right?
No.
They'll go to the Mountain West, maybe a Big 12. We'll gobble up Oregon and Washington, something like that.
It's better than a lot of those other conferences.
Do you guys care?
Like the Mountain West, that's not a good conference.
I always look at the people running the Pac-12 as kind of like the Keystone Cops. They can't get out of their own way.
Well, the TV deal's still so stupid. It took me 15 minutes to figure out what the Pac-12 network was on my cable.
Which you can't get on some cable providers. Or DirecTV still
John, you don't get it, right? Because you got DirecTV.
I don't have it either.
The bar that you were at had the Pac-12 network.
Yeah, so I go to a bar with a buddy on Saturday afternoon. We're going to watch football, have a couple of beers, and we're sitting out on the patio. They got a bunch of TVs. One of the TVs has Florida and Georgia, good game. Another TV had like UCF and Memphis or something like that. And then the other TV had nothing, right? It was just like regular programs, like TNT or something.
Right.
And so I said to the busboy at first, I'm like, hey, can you put this on Oregon and Cal? They're on FS1. Yeah, no problem. So he goes wherever they go to turn the channel, and Oregon Cal pops on, but it's from the Pac-12 network from like 5 years ago.
They're just airing old games instead of the actual games.
Okay, so do you know this about me? If I asked them to do that and they swung and missed, I'm out.
What do you mean you're out?
I'm out. I'm going to a different bar. I would never put up with that.
Well, did they not ever put up the game?
It only lasted for about an hour.
He comes
where he
back
couldn't get the channel.
and I said, no. This is the Pac-12 network. It's on FS1. This is just a coincidence that they're showing an old game. He goes, no. It says Oregon. I understand
the guide says
what it
Oregon
says,
versus Cal, but it's on the Pac-12
FS1.
network.
He says, I'll go check it out. Never goes to check it out. Waitress comes over. We ordered some beers and some food. I said, hey, can you put that TV on FS1? Yeah, sure. Never does it. Comes back a second time. Hey, I don't mean to be difficult, but can you please put that on the Oregon Cal game on FS1? Oh, yeah, sure. Never turns. Like you're out after the first try.
Yeah.
I tried it 3 different times. I could never get a resolution.
I'll go. Like I was out with my wife, and we were meeting 2 of her friends. So it's 3 couples, 6 people, and we have reservations at this place they were excited about trying. And we get there at like 5 to 8, and the reservation's at 8. And they go, "Yeah, 45-minute wait." And I went, "Huh." I go, "Reservation's at 8, right?" "Yeah." "We're here at 7:55, and you got a 45-minute wait." He goes, "Yeah." I walked to a place 2 doors down. I told him that story, and I said, "We're going to spend, we're going to tip." And I go, "I just think it's a bad way to do business." He goes, "You're right. Bring your group down here. We'll fit you in."
And they got you in right away?
Yeah. Yeah, more service has never...
Was your wife upset with the fact that they didn't get to go to the restaurant that they wanted to see? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have that gear. I wish I did. I wish I had the I'm going to twist somebody's arm gear.
But here's the thing.
He didn't try to twist.
He had a reservation at 8.
I gave them a chance. I gave them a chance for business. I played by their rules, and they ignored their own rules. I'm out.
You leaving?
Yeah.
Really?
If I really want to watch a game?
I'm not waiting 45 minutes either, especially if I have a reservation. That's a really, really bad look.
No. Well, what game were you trying to watch?
Cal and Oregon.
So what?
And was there not...
Because there was nothing else good on.
Was there not...
You wanted,
Trav,
you wanted
how
the
many
remote.
people were you with?
One other person.
All right. Was there not a place you could have gone within 10 minutes of where you were?
But we'd already ordered the beers, the nachos.
By the way, dying to watch the Cal Oregon game?
I wasn't dying to watch it. Georgia
this
was
might
up
be
85
a problem.
If it was SC, I would under. If it was UCLA, I would. It's Cal Oregon.
It was either Cal Oregon or the Dodger Channel. You wanted to just go watch it.
Another documentary.
Another documentary. I would have watched Fernando all over again. The food's on its way. I can't. The food is going to take precedent over the football.
That is different. If you've already ordered.
If I already ordered,
I'm
that'd
not
be a tough one.
canceling.
I've never done
I won't
that.
cancel that.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I'm talking you guys into it along the way.
No, you're not talking us into it. I just think the minute the guy jacked you around on the TV, I was like...
Although you wouldn't have stormed out because of the Cal Oregon game.
No, I would have left if
But he
I would
wasn't
have asked
jacking us
3
around.
times to have the TV changed, and they wouldn't do it.
I think the guy really thought I was having like an episode because I kept saying, "No, I want Cal." He's like, "It is Cal Oregon," and I'm saying, "But it's not the Cal Oregon."
I love how the
want.
Pac-12 network was airing
Counter
an
programming.
old.
Then it went to water
Cal
polo.
Oregon game.
It was UCLA Cal
No,
water
there's
polo.
always that on the Pac-12 network. Always that.
A little bit of baseball.
Yep.
You guys doing anything tonight other than handing out candy? You got a party?
No.
Nothing?
He's turning off his lights and putting his windows
What
down.
about you?
Oh, no, I live in a very heavily trick-or-treated area.
Do you get people that come to your neighborhood to get your candy?
Because we're guard gated. Yeah, they come all the time.
See, I'm going to go TP Ireland's house tonight.
What does the Ireland
it
house
would
give
probably
out?
fit right in. What?
Do you give out the full size? You just got the bags like this?
Lisa buys all the candy. I'd normally give out 100 grand bars if I could find them, but I think she's got half Reese's, half Snickers.
Not bad.
That's what she went with.
Where are we as the group on York peppermint patties? I was aggressively shouted down.
Pretty good.
Especially the full-size ones.
We're back.
I think we're the only ones.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that were
It's very unique, right? It's a little
you get a
refreshing,
little chocolate,
crisp,
get a little
dark
fresh.
chocolate.
Yeah,
All right, unwritten rule of Halloween: never anybody makes you their own treats.
Yeah, you
throw them
mentioned
out.
that.
Throw it away. Did you guys get popcorn balls as kids?
Throw them
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Those
Throw
were
'em out.
the
Pennies.
worst.
Did you ever get pennies? Oh, yeah, we got pennies.
What are you supposed to do with the penny?
You didn't even have enough pennies to buy a candy bar with that. Yeah, no, literally just drop a handful of pennies in.
Tootsie Rolls aren't bad. Old
Tootsie
school,
Rolls,
but
yeah.
not bad.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff? Somebody
trick or
coming
treat?
for what's the cutoff?
14.
Oh, age or time?
Time.
9 o'clock. Anything past 9 is
You getting people
nightclub.
past 9?
No.
No, I think there's an official, ending of Halloween.
By the
Curfew.
Like you won't see anybody over 10 years old after about 6:30.
Right.
They're gone, but you're going to get
9 is a good time. yeah.
9 seems about right. 9 seems about right. What about age? What is the time you look at the kid like? Really, you're still doing this?
Maybe 13. I said 14. Maybe are you still in middle school at 13?
Yeah.
If you're still in middle school, you're okay.
What about the 14-year-old that looks like he's 9? I feel like that kid
He
go
can
knock
slide.
It out.
He
right?
can slide by.
The 14-year-old that's
Now,
got the
what do you do?
mustache, he's got to
Yeah.
go.
What do you do when a kid knocks on your door and has no costume, dressed like me, has no effort?
I will make a snide remark.
Yeah.
I like, way to go, kid.
And do you give him the
way to
candy
put
or
in the
no?
effort. Yeah, I'm going to give him the candy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hey,
you
get outta
gotta
here.
Make an effort. You got to at least put on a golf shirt like that.
Or if he comes like a Clipper fan, you can't give him any candy.
Yeah, I did tell Sliwa if I get something I like in particular, I'll throw a few extra ones in there. You got to incentivize. You got to make it happen. Mason and Ireland coming up next. Happy Halloween, everybody.
What's going on?